Right then, when we last left off, y'all had had a crisis of faith, so to speak, and been reunited with your deities of choice. And I'll be honest, that's all I remember. Did anything else happen last session? There was some scrying. I think that happened.
Yeah,
chat,
scribe is grub.
chat with Alexander.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Grub was weird.
Horror with Grub.
Yeah.
I got to meet the rest of my kids.
Oh yeah.
You're the little babies.
Don't call them that. They're monsters.
And I learned the
They're
power
baby
of
monsters.
self-respect.
Nikolai Holt unlocks the power of self-respect.
Ding.
This cat. This JJ.
What, Dave?
Oh, sorry. I was looking at this. Oh yeah, there's her picture too. So, were you looking at that website, Pidge?
I looked at the website just long enough to see that the thing wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, if you scroll down, there are two videos. The second video has like JJ, her student cat, and her, her colleague James, all there.
That's so cool. Sorry, it took me a while to understand that, like, you were using cat as that's the person's name and not like she has an extremely intelligent cat that is in the class.
Yeah, cat's an odd enough character in her own, so I think that.
Meow. Mew.
And so you had all slept? I mean, except for Solandra, you didn't really have any time to sleep, but you still feel well rested.
Yep.
Oh, never mind. That's not gonna work. No. Sorry, I am just like trying to consider what the class of this NPC I'm gonna throw at you is, and it's hard nailing her down, literally and figuratively. Anyway, you all awaken.
No weird dreams.
No.
Goodness.
Finally, nothing. It's fantastic.
Did Holt get a good night's sleep?
Clearly.
Yes. I think so. If I dreamed anything terrifying, I don't remember it, so it's almost like it didn't happen.
Right? That means it didn't happen. All right then.
Give Kali a kiss good morning and go out to have some breakfast with hopefully everyone else is awake as well.
Mm-hmm. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Oh man, who wants some rubbery lumps?
Come on, we can do better than rubbery lumps.
You can do way better
This
than
is the
rubbery
ninth ahead
lumps.
of him.
This is true. You could actually, afford to... Random tavern generator. You could actually afford some steamed cod with pepper and onion and a glass of gin for 4 silver pieces.
That sounds wonderful. Sign me up.
They've also got some roasted partridge with dried lemon and a glass of whiskey.
No, I definitely trust the river fish of home.
This is breakfast?
This is breakfast.
They could at least have cocktails.
I'm sure if you asked nicely, you could get him to mix you up with something, but...
The new cook is a tall male halfling named Harem Roper. and he has a blade on his belt that glows with obvious magic ability.
Did you say his name was Harem Roper?
Harem Roper.
Outstanding.
HERIMROPER. Harem Roper.
Okay.
And apparently it was Elf's Night last night, because there's a bunch of fucking hungover elves who are gently chasing the hair of the dog that bit them and trying to shovel in some spoonfuls of food.
Fucking elves.
Fucking elves. But their natural constitution penalties make it difficult for them. Grub is served. There's no need for the three of you to pay.
I
Poor
pay
Grub.
anyway.
Good. You down some emergency. You feel nothing. Oh man, Munda is pleasant in appearance with a short blonde hair and blue eyes. She wears studded leather and wields a flail and a dagger. Munda is dying and desperately seeks the secret of immortality.
I love Don John.
Sucks to be Munda. Anyway.
So we've decided not to go to District 2?
I don't think we've made a final call yet.
That was a question.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's a question for out of character, in character.
In character.
Okay, that's that. I was responding in character.
Yep.
Downside is we've already been there, and we're trying to keep attention away from it. So.
And I really, after speaking with Grub, I don't know what there is I could possibly do to help.
After speaking with Grub, I don't know if I could be in the same room with him, starting to scream uncontrollably.
Quick, screaming cowboy.
Ha!
Thank you.
Careful, we only get 3 of those a session.
The insight I got from my little smoke was that stabilizing the Hell Jungle is one of our most important things left to do. And part of that is going and dealing with what we need to deal with at the fortress, and then I think we probably need to go back to the temple. And that place is it's in bad shape. I don't even know how much of the percent of their population they lost, but a lot. I don't know. It's we had good intentions. We tried to honor their wishes, but at the end of the day, they died fighting their fight, but in a way that we kind of orchestrated.
If we didn't do what we did, then all of them would have died instead of
I'm not
most
saying
of
that.
them.
I'm not saying that isn't true, Halt, but it does mean. You ever hear the expression? You're from, District 4. I imagine they have it there. You break it, you buy it.
Yes.
We break a lot of shit.
We haven't had a lot of opportunities to see how the Hell Jungle's been doing, so.
Yep.
Alright then.
Yeah. I'm not saying that we did something, that there are things that we did so wrong. I'm not trying to be like, doom and gloom about this, but at the end of the day, we have some responsibility for where they are right now. We tried our best with what we had. We made some good calls, some bad calls, some in between who even the fuck knows if they're a good or bad cause at this point. But none of it matters because it's still, it's still on us to a certain extent. We took the lead.
You're exactly right.
I wonder if Snickraw's still alive. She sticks out in my mind quite clearly.
Same.
Which means something.
Do I? Do we know what happened to the bodies? Were they all burned, or were they buried? I mean,
They-
the people who
Giant
died.
pyres, right?
Yeah, they
who
were
died in the
burned.
battle. So everybody from the battle was burned, including like people who just died in the battle, not just diseased people.
Yes.
I was wondering about what was the name of our friend with the brain in the bag.
Badu.
Badu. Pour one out for Badu.
So
Badu.
Badu was burned with the others.
Everyone was burned. Their corpses were piled into a giant pyre, doused in fuel and lit aflame.
Do you know why I'm asking this question?
I don't.
No. It's an ability I'm getting next level, so.
Are you gonna try to bring Badu back to life?
The thought has passed my mind.
Don't do it in front of Clementine.
I actually have even more grandiose thoughts in my mind at times.
So what's on the docket?
Have our breakfast, pack our shit, head to the jungle.
That's about it.
How are you heading to the jungle?
Tree stride?
Tree stride?
You can bring
Tree
us along
stride.
now?
I'm allowing it. It's dumb to not allow it. In my expert opinion, let the fuckers travel through trees.
Thank you, Mr. DM, sir.
Thank
You're
you, Mr.
welcome.
DM, sir.
I can't quite find what I'm looking for, so this will have to do. We accept it. So, where was that pic I posted of the jungle?
Somewhere up there
Whatever.
beneath my memes.
Beneath the memes. Oh, there it is. Wait. Oh my bad. I gotta send
Please.
the photo. Welcome to the jungle.
Thanks.
You spend a few minutes traveling through trees. And then you come out and you are smack dab in the middle of the hell jungle.
Whew. All right.
The temperature has spiked from a, comfortable, high 60s to a fuck off high 80s.
And humid.
Oh yeah, it's like walking into a fucking bowl of soup. You're just like, oh man, District 4. Oh, the smells are awful.
Fire resist?
The fire resistance helps. You no longer feel uncomfortable from the heat, but everything is sticky.
And bugs.
And bugs. And well, actually, the bugs can't get through your natural armor.
Oh, that's good.
How much natural armor do you have?
3?
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I don't think there's a single bug in this fucking jungle that can pierce your carapace. Like the dire skeeters are like, I'm gonna suck some of this demon blood.
Every so often, I sort of prestidigitate the sweat and bugs off of myself and Clementine if she wants.
Yes, please.
They coalesce into a little ball and just flop to the jungle floor. So where are you guys headed? To the temple?
To the temple.
It's kind of the only landmark you've got. Can somebody give me a survival roll to start surviving?
Sure, actually. Though I think Clementine will do a fine job. I will try to assist.
27?
Ooh.
16 to assist.
Nice work. That's +2. So that's a total of a 29?
Yes.
Sounds good. Yep. You figure out which way is, north, south, east, and west, and your relative position. You climb a tree, and you're like, okay, we need to go in a southeasterly direction, so we need to go this way. That being said, you don't know how far away from the temple you are, because the Hell Jungle is fucking huge. But now you know which direction you should go.
Yeah.
I could teleport us there.
Without knowing the direction?
I just need.
Or without knowing the distance?
Sure, I know what it looks like. So I mean that's usually the key. Is the more familiar you are with the place, the easier it is for you to find it.
Oh, all right.
Even better than that, you've literally been there.
Yep.
Do you teleport?
Yeah. Should I roll? Familiar enough that I don't need to. I think I've been
there always has to be a roll.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's a 28.
28. Let me look at the problems with teleport. Very familiar. Yeah. You don't want when you're trying to not fuck up on a teleport. You don't want to roll high. 98 and 99 are bad, and 100 is, oops.
Accidentally teleported to another plane, sort of mirrorverse type deal.
Something
Whoopsie.
like that. Like something bad. Just always bad.
Wow, the Dragon Emperor would just be this really nice guy.
The Dragon Emperor has already taken over, all the wishes have been used, and all is well, and none of you guys exist. And they're like, who's the fuck?
Ooh, Dark Bowman.
Dark Bowman!
Start unbuttoning my shirt. Wait, I mean, no.
I'm not in love with Dark Bowman.
Who would be?
Right?
He's all glowery and broad-shouldered.
Glowery, broad-shouldered, and he is not afraid to absolutely destroy the blood. Like, he's not afraid to spill and utilize the blood of the innocent. Oh, hey, it's the Hell Temple.
Oh shit, there we are. Pop!
I found a cool pic of it.
Marvelous.
There is a small village outside of the Hell Temple. For the most part, the Hell Temple stands alone, but, where there is a structure of faith, there will be people who set up shop around it.
I mean, it was protected by a bunch of devout folks.
Exactly. And, I mean, for the most part, they live inside the temple, but there is still, like, a little town outside that's just like, yep, we set up shop here. Why? Because some people like to come to the Hell Temple. And where there's pilgrimage, there's business.
Pilgrimage means profit.
You're damn right.
I don't suppose you could tame that Helga. He'd come handy.
Somebody
I don't
talking
think the
about
Hell
waking up the
God
Hell God.
is something that you tame.
I mean, if you're sufficiently powerful, yes.
I think the Hell God is someone that you entice and hope will do your bidding, but you don't tame it like a sheep or a goat or something.
I mean, you can try.
Seems wrong.
I'm not gonna risk it. I use wild empathy on the Hell God. You fail. But I rolled a 20. Oh, great. You fail spectacularly. But now you're at the Temple of the Hell God. What do?
All right.
I suppose we should introduce ourselves, or
Well, I think they
maybe
know
things
us.
Oh,
See who's gotten to be in charge now.
We kind of made an impression last, well, not the last time we were here, but the time before that. Oh boy. All right, yeah, we need to what's going on here. I'm not sure the exact. Did I get any sense of, from the cigarette in terms of it? There's paint is definitely going to the fortress, but also coming here and trying to fix what's wrong here. But not a lot of specifics in terms of what we're fixing, right?
Yes. You understand that there is something wrong, but you don't know.
Okay. All right, let's see who we can get some fucking information from. Oh, and some more fucking coffee. That'd be good too. They have the best stuff here.
That's true.
Yeah, if you like it black as dirt.
If you like coffee, yes. Not that fucking sugary stuff you like. Ugh.
It's fun to drink. It tastes good, Salandra. Some people like things that taste good.
Bitterness sharpens the mind in many ways.
Go drink the juice of Safu somewhere else.
I feel like that's not factually correct.
Is this because you've experienced a lot of bitterness?
No. I just figure that if the caffeine's not going to work on me anyway, I might as well drink something that tastes good.
I very seriously shake hold.
All right, hey guys, let's get something straight. Sweet and good are not the same thing. Bitter.
We'll have to
good.
agree to disagree on that one.
Are you shitting me? You never drink vinegar?
No.
No?
I mean, I put vinegar on vegetables sometimes. That's pretty good.
What about like spicy
Wine?
things? I mean,
I like spicy things.
Okay, I mean that's not sweet. I mean that's not sweet at all. It's painful at times.
We weren't saying that everything has to be either.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying is that coffee tastes good. It just doesn't taste sweet.
At which point, a woman wearing flowery robes with a crown...
We just had a Quentin Tarantino conversation, guys.
We did.
Oh, yeah. with a crown of tentacles, walks up to you and just says, "Are all Outlanders such jamokes? Do all you do is stand around and talk about coffee?"
Well,
Sometimes, yeah. Hello.
Good day.
Hello. So, can I help you with something?
we're trying to find out what has been happening here since we left. We haven't been back much since the battle, and trying to see if the recovery has been going, what's been happening here. Most of the people.
Yes, I remember you three now. I mean, recovery effort? I don't exactly understand.
So many people were lost in this battle.
Yes.
Do we recognize her at all?
Nope.
Assuming that.
I think you misunderstand the way things work around here. It's my understanding that those on the upper territories have a centralized population, a centralized government, that sort like thing. When Wind City, if it were to be devastated, people would go back to Wind City to rebuild. There are no such landmarks here in the jungle. There are a few villages, many so small they do not even have names. And if there were not enough people there alive to keep it going, they would simply move someplace else. It's also my understanding that you have homes that don't move and a lot of possessions. We don't have such things, for the most part. There's no rebuilding, merely a small redistribution.
But surely losing so many of your leaders, so many of your warriors, it's left a huge hole.
How many do you think we lost? Because I think you don't know anything about the jungle.
We would like to know to help if we can.
Really?
Oh, nods.
Ooh, there we go. Go to the Terra Nova mining camp. It's due east. Sorry, it's due west. There you'll be able to find someone who will be able to tell you more about what's going on around here.
All right.
Terra Nova, is that a company from Septemport?
As far as the outside world is concerned, it is Septemport.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Clem gives a little bow.
What is your name?
Time for some fantasy name generator. I don't even know what her race would be considered.
I assume she was mutant.
I mean, like, yeah, she's definitely a mutant, but like, oh, hey, there's a mutant species name. Nope, never mind. That doesn't exactly work. Deathworm metal. Ooh. Apocalypse mutant names. They call me Wink.
Thank you for your advice, Wink.
Is it time to head out west?
It is?
Mm-hmm.
To the Terra Nova mining camp.
Damn. Pretty sick. Alright. So you guys start heading west. You already got a 29 on your survival roll, so you're all good.
Woohoo.
No, that's no good. Oh, here we go.
Solandra's distractedly reading it.
Which do I want to go with?
Well, I think we made a great first impression.
Stupid fucking white man.
Well, I mean, Yes.
You can't be faulted for what you are.
Hey, now that's my physical appearance.
He's not white. He's gray.
Well, I mean, like an ashy gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a stupid fucking white man.
Yeah, some things never change.
Hey! Hey! My race has changed, and you're still a stupid fucking white man.
I mean, even more stupid, got rid of my extra skill points.
Oh no!
No.
My intelligence score. So you guys head due west. The town around the Hell Temple is nothing much to remark upon. You know, there are a lot of priests, there are a lot of pilgrims. You know, mostly there are a lot of farms, and they sell food to pilgrims. And you know, there's a couple of philosophers that hang out around here. You know, oh man, I found a sweet random 500 mutations. You know, one guy with pigtails is chatting to someone who takes his hand off, and the hand goes and crawls and picks up a cigar somewhere else, crawling back up to him. He picks it up off the ground, reattaches it at the wrist, and then puts the cigar in his mouth and starts smoking.
Candy.
That's a cool trick.
Haha.
Funny. And then there's another woman with her legs on backwards. I mean, at the knee. I mean, like, they bend at the knee the wrong way.
Huh.
Asymmetry. Everything you have two of, you now have one of. Roll to see if it's on the left or right side.
Jesus.
Ugh.
Trouble with nouns. Everything is a thing if you're in a hurry. Requires 2d6 rounds to find the words. Iron skin flakes off in rusty layers. Headless.
Tetanus man.
Tetanus man. Tetanus man.
Here, let me rub some skin flakes in your open wound.
Well, rusty iron in a jungle environment sounds like a bad combination.
It's miserable. Earthworm blood. Don't ask.
I really don't want to know.
Good.
Okay.
Spores. Fractal fingers. One hand only. 2D 1000 fingers. Huh. Finger mouths. Every finger ends in a tiny lamprey mouth. Can use to consume
Jesus.
food.
No!
Cyclops. Anyway.
So we're walking through the small town on our way to the mining camp.
Yes.
Is the mining camp like
Oh, no.
past the town through the jungle?
The
Or
mining
is it
camp is 2 days away.
2 days away. Okay.
She didn't mention that. You suddenly come to the conclusion it's probably 2 days away. Everything's about like 2 days away from something, right?
No, stop to ask some questions in town, see if we can get some information.
What sort of questions are you asking?
Where is the Terra Nova mining camp? Because we didn't get that from her.
Fair enough.
How is everything going? Is there anything we can do to help? Does anyone seem in need of healing?
No, the people around here are fine. Does anybody need help? Is everybody okay? And they're just like, should we not be?
Oh, I
Are you all right,
guess
miss?
everyone's okay.
We're used to being in places that are a little less okay.
I mean, someone makes a vague comment. I hear there's trouble up north, but don't know too much about it.
It's gotten better in some places.
Oh, good.
I wouldn't worry too much.
And he goes about sipping his sweet durian tea and just says, "One plan on it."
I whisper to Clementine, "Sure these fucking things work?"
What things work?
Those things. Cigarettes.
I think so. It worked the first time I had one. I've still, and she pats her pocket. I've still got one, just in case.
It seems so clear. All right.
My bad. The Terra Nova mine is Septemportian South. The Troubles are Septemportian West. And then, of course, he also comments on the Trouble to the north, which is inland. Or up the mountain. Because I was a fucking idiot maniac who made up a series of fucking convoluted navigation rules.
You did.
Because all compasses point toward the peak.
Oh, that'd be annoying.
What do you mean, would be? That's what happens.
If there's a shop, I'll also restock in some coffee and tobacco supplies.
There is coffee and tobacco you can buy. Spend 5 gold pieces and you acquire a large amount of fantastic coffee and delightful tobacco. Real Hell Jungle shit. Real Cubans.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, I guess we should go.
On our way then.
All right.
Into the jungle.
Into the jungle.
Deeper in we go.
To the jungle.
We will have a walk.
Groot slang names? The fuck is
What?
Groot slang? Huh. I like it. Okay. So, you guys head west.
This seems so old school.
My bad. You head south. Fucking, pardon me. I just gotta go punch myself in the head. Anyway, you head south.
So we're heading away from the mountain.
You are heading away from the mountain. You get some rough directions. If you pass by, if you come out of the jungle, you've gone too far. Groot slang is Afrikaans, not like word salad, but like if you put a bunch of words together to make a new word.
Huh.
Like Werkler Mannetje means little color change guy, which means chameleon.
Neat.
Cool.
I'm into it.
Clem, do you have that fairy ring all of yours, Andy?
Not right now. I can prepare it for tomorrow.
Okay, just curious. It just be nice not to have to deal with the watch, but I guess we'll go completely old.
It's a nice change, isn't it?
Sleep in the dirt, and I think we might be nostalgic for stuff that we didn't really enjoy a lot at the time.
Speak for yourself. She says fucking burying herself in the earth and leaves.
Oh, yeah, fucking druid, forgot.
I've never really minded it.
Just was the norm.
Yeah.
So you guys travel south for a day. It is slow, suffering going through the jungle, except for Holt. I mean, like it sucks, but like Holt definitely finds it the least unpleasant.
It is made so much better by the fact that I'm not being eaten alive by insects.
It's so much better. Like they cannot eat you. You're not food.
I'm gonna turn into a snake.
Salandra uses ice tune on the larger vermin. Uses them to cool herself.
You are a comfort block now. Get on. That's pretty useful actually. That does help. That is super helpful at beating the heat. So when you guys make camp for the night, is anybody taking any watches?
Yes, please.
Yep.
I mean, Holt, do you want to take the whole watch?
Yeah, I mean, if you need to rest up to prepare spells for what we might encounter, I can't sleep anyway, so.
I mean, I'm more than happy to share.
If you want to keep me company.
I don't need much sleep.
Alright, well, we'll just wing it anyway. I'm staying up the whole night.
Got it. So Clem, you try bravely to fight against the dying of the light and go to sleep basically immediately. Sorry, Clem. I will always imagine you as a kid, and you're like, I'm gonna stay up all night, and then at 9 o'clock you're like, oh.
Listen, don't mistake Clementine for Pidge.
That being said, Holt, in the middle of the night, you get a visitor.
Oh boy. Is it another Myconid? No, it's not.
No.
I completely forgot about that encounter.
Holt, there's a giant fucking dinosaur on the corner of your campsite. What do you do?
I'm going to,
I wouldn't hurt it. Clementine would be very upset.
I'm not gonna hurt it.
Kill the dinosaur! Your gun wants you to kill the dinosaur.
Jakara, shh. We're not gonna kill the dinosaur.
It's so big! Just shoot it in the head!
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take her out and specifically, like, aim her up into the air to scare it away.
Okay. Make an intimidate check.
I would love to.
Just remember, they're dumb as rocks, and if it stampedes, it might just go towards you by accident.
I have to do math. How dare you? 28.
28. I forget you're really good at intimidate.
It's the one thing I'm good at!
Heyo! Yeah, you fire a warning shot, and this thing flips the fuck out because lightning is bad and dinosaurs hate lightning. That's
Come on, get out of here!
Just a fact. You tell it to go on get, and it goes on and gets got. That being said, Salandra, the bolt of lightning wakes you up. Clem, make a perception check and a minus 18 penalty.
God, it's just like real life. Okay, let's see. I can do this math.
Also, Clem,
An 18.
How long has it been since you had Whisper?
Oh my Christ. Like at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
Since at least it was the last time I had it was in Marduk's temple.
Right. So your dreams are becoming weird insofar as they're more and more simple. The dream that you're having now, that you've become mysteriously engrossed in, is that you are witnessing yourself in a dimensionless void, shifting your body to form the letters of certain alphabets.
Huh.
As you focus on these core basic shapes and tenets of the understanding, tenets of the means of meaning, you're just utterly engrossed in how you literally become the letter. but you're really just saying your ABCs over and over again.
Listen, I've had the marijuana before. I understand how sometimes you get really engrossed in the concept of E.
But that's your dream. And you wake up utterly uninspired.
Fair.
That would have given some interesting fan art if we had.
No. I've got other things to do.
Holt, you don't have enough time to draw Clementine in like 78 different letters?
No, I really don't.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you don't have enough time for that. If you said yes, I'd call a fucking intervention. Session's over, folk. Cap, are you all right? Do you need help?
In Planescape Torment, I don't know if you guys have ever played it.
Nope.
There's a point where you do run into the embodiment of the letter O.
Huh.
Huh.
In a bar. So.
Oh.
He's not the oddest person you in that bar either.
Weird.
That's kind of fun.
You would really like Planescape Torment.
Oh yeah, I should definitely play it. Well, I mean, the dice don't lie. Long story short, Salandra, you wake up, Halt, you're like, there was a dinosaur.
It was big.
Hmm.
It's fine now.
You roll
Sorry.
over and go back to trance.
I look at the toppled trees and other things. I believe you, Holt.
Okay. I give her a thumbs up and put Jakara back in her holster.
You remain unmolested for the rest of the evening.
Next time, Jakara, I promise.
You promise?
I promise.
Jakara will remember this. And
the satellite maps of the Hell Jungle, there's like this zone where all the animals just left because there's something really fucking dangerous. Let's go.
There is lightning, but no storm. Fucking what? So y'all continue on for the rest of the night. Awaken, arise, consume, and keep going. You end up in a terrible bog, unfortunately.
I turn into a bird.
Bird.
No fair.
I'll fly over it.
Double
Come on,
no fair.
guys.
I turn into a big ass bird and crouch down so Holt can get on my back.
Thank you.
Clem, you can't be a big ass bird. There's too much canopy cover for you to fly like that. You'd be better off like turning into a big like croc and letting Holt ride you.
That sounds even more fun.
Or a dinosaur.
Can I turn into a dinosaur?
You can turn into any type of dinosaur you can summon.
Excellent. I turn into a dinosaur.
Cool.
Probably like a cool triceratops or something.
Well, I'd say a triceratops is what they saw in the night. It is huge. A triceratops' gourd is 40-10 plus 16 points of damage.
Jesus.
Boom. Anyway, you turn into a 30-foot long, 20,000-pound triceratops. Holt, you get on.
Cool.
It's tricky riding. Holt's done some riding before, hasn't he?
Yeah, I even still have a point in ride.
Nice. It's tricky riding a triceratops just because of how big it is, but there are some ridges that you can hold on to around the corner of the head. You just need to be careful not to put pressure on the back of Clementine's neck. If you fuck this up, you'll just like fucking break her neck and kill her. No, I'm just kidding. She won't die, but you will break her neck and she'll be paralyzed from the neck down.
I do not want to do that to you, so warn me if you're gonna go fast.
I will.
Yeah,
Okay.
Clem, if you're gonna go fast, you're gonna want him to get off.
I tend to do more of a lumbering motion with this form.
And thankfully you have someone here that can heal a broken spinal column. Hi, Salandra.
Mm.
That being said, you find the most unlikely sight.
We've seen some very unlikely things. So
you
so far.
find a large sprawling structure in the marsh.
Huh.
And it is the sign outside reads in Undercommon in bioluminescent paint, the bee's nest.
What the fuck?
Does it seem occupied?
It seems very occupied. Does a Triceratops have scent? I think it might just give you the scent feature.
Look it up.
It does! Clem, you succeed on your perception roll. This place smells like sex.
I say it in my Triceratops voice. It's a brothel.
In the middle of nowhere.
That's probably not nowhere to them.
I say to the air, one of yours?
Oh. You're asking the right questions.
This isn't the place that we're looking for, is it? I thought we were looking for a mine.
Mm.
All right, it is one of her. So.
Oh, you want to stop for a break?
It's better than the alternative. Yeah, we could. How long have we been traveling?
14 hours.
Oh, all right. So we're
Jesus, yes.
we're deep into this. We're deep into the second day.
Right, you're deep into the second day. Number one. Number two, you've been traveling through a bog for hours. I'm sorry, it's difficult to represent time when you're traveling because just like the day passes, but just like you guys have been out on the road for just like walking around for 28 hours, telling stories, singing songs, like dodging dinosaurs, and for the duration of this day, swatting a fuck ton of mosquitoes that live in this fucking bog.
I know all parts of nature are sacred, and bogs are an important part of the ecosystem. But man, fuck bogs.
Fuck bogs. Anyway, you go into the bee's nest. Clementine, I assume you change into a halfling?
I do indeed change into a halfling.
There are a lot of very, very scantily clad mutants. Like, this place is like an affable social party that never ends, with lots of bedrooms located nearby.
Fun.
Excellent.
And like, like, it's basically like a sort of like a tent city where streams of fabric are just like strewn up across the jungle's canopy. There are no torches. Everything is lit via bioluminescence. So
Whoa.
there are bioluminescent lanterns and mushrooms and other sources of light and nectars and all sorts of things. And, you know, there's just a bunch of people hanging out, eating food, drinking drinks, and occasionally being like, do you fancy a shag? No? All right, fine. I'm gonna go. Catch you later. You know, another conversation begins. Do you fancy a shag? Yes, I do believe so. Would you like to open the curtains or close them? I prefer the curtains open. Very well then. And there's just like a pile of pillows in a soft place where they fuck, and then it gets sanitized, and then they go about their evening and go talk to somebody else. With an exchange of coin, by the way.
You're a really weird chick. That was not addressed to either of you.
No.
So.
Oh, I think I like this place.
I like this place a lot.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Oh, come on, Solandra, we've been in a day.
I've been in a bog all day.
It's been miserable. Let me have a little bit of fun.
Solandra snaps her over in Holt's direction, and like all of the mud and like dirt, grime disappears off of them, and gets a little bit of a sweet smell. Not cologne, but like fresh.
Oh,
Don't say I never did anything for you.
Take your pick. What sort of courtesan would you care to... I rolled a 69 on a D100, so just like...
Yes!
Yes! That's the...
Do I only get to pick one?
Yeah, sorry, you only get to pick one courtesan with which to share a fantastic evening and earn secret sex information.
Oh, sweet. I don't know. The most interesting mutant there.
The most interesting mutant.
Have fun, guys. I need to talk to the queen here.
Okay.
If you
promise we won't get into too much trouble.
If you want to chat with her too, but I figure you might get distracted.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I'm already distracted. 100%.
Tentacles.
Oh, where? Something with tentacles, Ronald.
Something with tentacles. Tentacle fingers, all wiggly.
Ooh.
All right, so the person that you have a conversation with has a frog's tongue, tentacle fingers, and feathered skin. And she is adorned with a series of tattoos. Bioluminescent, of course. Your blood is now glue! Huh. Anyway. I mean, in short, if you spend 30 gold, you're going to have a pleasant evening.
Done.
But the question is, what has she got to tell you? Not much besides the use of well-attuned appendages. Curtains open or closed, Holt?
I don't really care.
Very well then. Make a charisma check.
Absolutely. Come on, D20. Don't fail me now.
Don't fuck me now.
That'll be an 18.
Sounds good. You do not suffer any performance anxiety from the crowd of onlookers you entice as a bunch of people just sort of like rubbernecking trying to figure out, so that's how an outlander fucks. Huh.
Wonderful.
Yeah, she teaches you like what she can do with a foot long what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tail that can hold something. Prehensile. A foot long prehensile tongue.
So I have a great evening. Or at least a great start to my evening.
Clementine,
Yeah.
what do you go looking for?
The mutant equivalent of like, I don't know, like a furry or a feathery or a scaly or some weird thing.
That's pretty much all of them.
About to say, you definitely find someone scaly.
Cool. I don't think I've ever fucked anyone scaly before. This will be other than Holt.
I'm offended.
Other than Holt.
Wait a minute, you fucked Holt? When did that happen?
I mean,
District
we
5.
we both fucked the
Oh yeah.
Very odd.
Zeriod.
yeah, Dariad.
Where's that Desir? It was Desir.
Okay. Whichever one.
The one with the illusions.
Yes, the illusion one.
Now you see how things work in my head. There's no names. There's the machine one and the illusion one. Curtains open or closed?
Curtains closed because Clem mostly just wants to like snuggle and just be like intimate with someone. Like
Okay.
sex is cool, sex is fine, but it's more about intimacy.
Fair enough.
That's what she's craving.
He's got a lot of questions about what it's like in the inner world.
Excellent.
Briefly. He starts telling you about what it's like in the outer world. There is a cultural exchange that takes place.
This is awesome.
So wholesome.
Like you tell him about cities, and he's like, "Huh, weird." And then he tells you about sieches.
What are those?
He can't tell you much. All he can say is that there are more mutants out here than you could possibly imagine.
That's amazing.
And like he just says, "What do you expect? If you're hungry, you grab fruit off the tree. If you're thirsty, you drink at the water from the river. If there isn't a river, you can drink lake water. If there isn't a lake, you can drink stagnant water. Like, there is so much life here, you'll be fine." Clem, make a survival roll.
That seems like remarkably bad advice.
Yeah, I got a 15. That seems like bad advice.
Actually, for an inlander, for an underlost, it works perfectly. For an inlander like you, thankfully you have poison immunity. But if you didn't, you would catch some sort of terrible microbial bug and probably die.
Yeah, like that's how you get dysentery.
That's how you get dysentery. A mutant wouldn't get dysentery from something like that. Like, because the dysentery is part of them.
Nice.
Like, are you familiar with gut flora?
Yeah, I don't have any.
That, you see, that's a problem. If
I forgot.
What did you forget?
Oh, I'm just off antibiotics, and I was meaning to get yogurt.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. because I have no gut flora.
Like, the Underlost have definitely the most diverse gut flora, ever? I'm gonna go with ever on that one. Like, seriously. The Underlost can drink... The Underlost around here are drinking bog water, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, whatever, you just do it.
Yeah, it's just liquid, man.
It's just water, you put it in your face.
That's how water works. Don't you have water where you come from?
Don't you have water where you come from? Yeah, no. So you figure out that much.
That's very cool. I also grill him about like, and I don't know if he'll have the answer to this, but like history of disease in his just like to his knowledge. Basically Clementine's trying to get some kind of timeline on like the rapidity of the mutations.
Whoa.
What's that?
He doesn't talk anything. He doesn't have anything to say about like there are occasional disease outbreaks. And when they do happen, they're bad because like you will get exposed to it. There's like the people here are a strong people, but the problem is everybody gets sick all at once. When there is an epidemic. When there's an epidemic, it gets bad, and the big problem is the people who would help the sick people also get sick.
Gotcha.
Every couple generations, the Hell Jungle is prone to like a culling epidemic.
That makes sense.
And like shit just shuts down for a couple of weeks. And I mean, most of the people get better, but the old people, the kids, they are the most at risk, obviously.
Right.
And so they usually get very dead. And I mean, like that's just the nature of the beast. The jungle is a living thing, and when it changes, we all have to change with it. And those who can't afford to survive the jungle's changing nature will die.
It's just how it works.
Oh, he says that, and like he doesn't know you're a druid. Just like your natural trappings are strong, but like you've also got the weird creepy eyes, and he's just like, "Yep, that's how it works." And you're like, "Motherfucker, I know all too well." The weak will be culled. That's just how the world was designed.
And I do what I can to help the weak not be culled, but I am one halfling against a very big Gaia.
I was about to say, like, Gaia doesn't discourage you from doing that, but she doesn't encourage you to do it either. That's a choice that you've taken. And if you chose not to take it, she wouldn't say that it was your responsibility to do it.
She'd be like, "That's cool, kid, whatever."
Oh man, you like helping people. That's cool. And if you were like, "Fuck it, it's not my responsibility to help those people," she'd be like, "You damn right it's not. Fucking if he dies, he dies. That's all I'm saying."
He dies.
Meanwhile, Salandra goes looking for the queen bee. And you do, in fact, find the queen bee in a large, luxurious hammock. There is a bearded woman with long, luxurious hair. She's got the underlost eyes. And she is awash in cloth. And as you introduce yourself, you say, "I am a friend of Sarush, and we have another friend in common." And she just says, "Oh, really? How's the old cocoon doing?"
Still is solid.
That's good. He hasn't pupated yet?
No. Well, I mean, he is a pupa, as far as I know. He's never emerged as an Imago. He doesn't even seem to think he may ever.
His faith in his own evolution has been shaken. My faith in his evolution has not. He's only 80 years young.
Well, Sarush is one of the helping others than helping. So, I don't think he thinks. I don't think he wants just trying to help as many people as however he can. It's a little annoying having a friend who's so much more selfless than you.
You're telling me.
But at least he has people to look after him.
I studied under him. It was torturous in many ways.
I can imagine. But he doesn't expect... I don't know. You don't have to be selfless to be a decent person.
That's true.
there's a big difference between like not being selfless and being a fucking selfish bitch. So this place is pretty fucking cool. My friends are already hip deep. What? What? If I don't can ask, what inspired you to pick this location?
Kira herself. She came to me in a vision. And I figured building the bee's nest close to the Terra Nova camp would be a good idea. Lots of miners, lots of money. Great place to spend it. A great place to do research.
What can you tell me about the Terra Nova? Heard a little bit about it. But...
We like to call it Gaia's navel. It's something else. It's my understanding that in other parts of the mountain, mithril is rare.
Yeah. Pretty fucking...
At Terra Nova, you can pan it out of the earth.
Holt, my friend Holt, will be very excited about it. He's got a little bit of a mithril.
I can understand why. It's a fantastic metal. Durable, pliable. Just
Shiny.
like many of my apostles.
Well, I think Suresh would be pretty pleased with what you've put together here. It seems like there's a lot of good people having a very good time. There's nothing wrong with that, particularly in a place like this.
What are you referring to exactly?
Well, this is a fucking bog, and there are like several billion small creatures attempting to suck all the blood out of your body at any given moment. And I'm sure you guys don't mind it as much, but it's pretty fucking uncomfortably hot and humid, though. I suppose the armor does.
That's your problem. You are wearing far too much clothing. Perhaps you should remove some of it.
So the my celestial male will essentially wears like cloth almost, so I can pretty much shrug out of it.
Do you shrug out of it?
I'm trying to think. After is Landra still in sort of the warm? Is it sort of like trying to think in terms of the renewed tattoo maiden thing?
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. The queen bee here, I mean, the beard is nice, but like for the most part she's not doing it for you. I mean,
yeah.
like, you could, I mean, like, she might be able to inspire you. Certainly she has a lot of skill and technique, blah 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 blah. But for the most point, like there is no initial spark of attraction.
I sort of just sit down on the floor, kind of pull up my duster. I've had an interesting week, and I'm pretty well taken care of. I just give her a smile.
Did you say that you had a stressful week?
I said I had
Interesting good or interesting bad?
It's had its ups and downs. The downs are pretty fucking, but gotta say the ups weren't bad at all.
Oh. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but you seem a little tense.
Always.
I could help you with that.
Tense gives me my edge. The feeling I'm gonna use it a lot.
But a blade that holds its edge falls to pieces.
Not that I've experienced.
Then let me show you. And she snaps her fingers and sends out some orders, and somebody calls for a glass. And she holds it up to you and says, "This is tension. It's sand that has been burned and coalesced into something so tense that it's become solid. But as you can see, it's so brittle. I could smash it against the wood of the tree, but I don't even need that to break it." And she brings the glass to her lips and unleashes a belting operatic screech that shatters the glass after a few seconds of sustained volume.
Slandra applauds.
And,
Excellent.
someone comes in with a brush and a dustpan and sweeps it up. And she says, "You need to relieve that tension, dear."
I don't know. I've seen glass used, so nothing can break this.
Do you take brother out?
I gently slide brother from his sheath.
And she just chuckles to herself and says, "Oh, how phallic."
At times. That's the reason why he's brother, not
Fair enough. But I'm serious. A massage would do you good.
okay.
You have a fantastic tension relieving evening. You feel so exfoliated by the end of it.
Exfoliate.
That being said, you were right. Like when all is said and done, it was definitely an enjoyable experience. But you're like, oh no, I don't like it. I gotta give me a minute. And you have a smoke and drink a cup of coffee, and you're like, ah, there we go.
Yep.
It was nice. It was nice. It was nice while it lasted, but now it makes me uncomfortable. Bad.
Freeze a rat. Mop my brow. Nice tomb so handsome.
Ooh, awesome.
Are you gonna fuck a lizard man?
Who, me?
Yes.
So
I
is that,
mean,
are you gonna fuck a lizard man, or are you gonna fuck a lizard man?
It's a lizard man.
yes.
Okay, just curious.
30
With
gold
Holt,
pieces, Holt.
With Holt, anything's possible.
I mean, I'm certainly interested. Is this one of the artists?
This
you
is
mentioned?
not one of the artists. This is one of the RTs.
Oh. Well then, yes. I will definitely keep going. The end goal is to get introduced to one of these artists, so I guess I better
That's
put my
fair.
money where my mouth is.
That's fair. I mean, it's only polite. It's only polite to enjoy the services.
Work my way up the totem pole. Yeah.
Right. Work your way up the totem pole. No skipping a notch now. So you spend.
I've got the gold.
I was about to say, you spend another 30 gold pieces. You have
Mhm.
another fantastic, mind-shattering experience.
I do love lizard people.
And you have a chat with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got all my ink done by."
By whatever the generator says.
Hey-o! Vilwes is who you're looking for. Vuilwese. Dirt creature.
Oh, I'm very excited to meet them.
And he is more than content to lead you to where Vuilwes does his work.
Sweet.
Vuilwes is a little gnomish mutant with tusks
Cool.
and tusks and spiked warts, which he apparently uses for needles. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've inked everything. I've had to develop new techniques to ink certain creatures. You ever ink a porcupine? Tricky, but possible."
Oh, I believe you. Have you ever worked on a hellbred before?
"I have not," he says.
First time for everything. I would love to commission you.
"What are you
And I
looking
explained to him what I have in mind, which is a black work tattoo on my right forearm that is swirling clouds with some lightning striations.
for?" You found the right motherfucker to make that tattoo for you.
Sweet.
And he just says, "This is going to take some time and it's going to hurt."
I'm fine with both of those things.
It does take some time. He starts burning the midnight oil and drinking some coffee to stay awake. Make a Constitution save.
Sure. Sweet. That will be a 19.
Number one, you're not sleepy. Number two, you don't give a fuck. Like, he's like, "This is gonna hurt a lot," and like, on
When is
something
it
like,
supposed to start hurting?
right? So, is it supposed to start? Like, a lizard folk has like a +1 natural armor, and troglodytes have like a +2, and you have a +3, so you're at not give a fuck levels. Sorry, you have +3 natural armor.
No, it's no apologies necessary. But yeah, I'll definitely make good conversation with. Keep an eye out for Clementine as she emerged from her little room yet.
Pidge, do you just snuggle and sleep with this guy?
Honestly, yeah.
He has never
Fair
been
enough.
paid so much to nap before.
She just wants someone to spoon with.
What's wrong with Toby?
Toby's
Toby
cool, but
likes to be the big spoon, and I like to be the big spoon, so Toby's not good at taking turns because he's got horns.
also, Toby doesn't have feathers. His fur is great, but these feathers are fucking luxurious.
And I can just pat them smoothly.
In short, when dawn comes, do y'all head out from the bee's nest after having a meal?
A bit reluctantly.
But yes.
Yeah. Salandra, if she catches the tattooing, would want to observe too.
That's fair. Like around like dawn, you finally track down Holt and you see the work that's being done on him, and you're like, bioluminescent ink?
Yeah, I had to.
Have to buy some of that.
Unfortunately, Luis, it tells you, no good. I'd sell it to you if I could, but it goes rot if you don't use it immediately.
It's fucking. Well, great job.
Sorry, more Groot slang words. Van Nixkisi Niebangskip, of nothing afraid ship, or warship.
Nice.
Fucking got 'em. Yeah, it's pretty clear that like the bioluminescent ink forms a symbiotic relationship with whomever it is implanted in. And so like he could give you a bottle of it to use for your own, but if you didn't put it in someone real fucking quick, it would die.
This is incredible. What an opportunity. How much do I owe you, friend?
Oh, 7 gold pieces.
I give him 10.
Ah, an adventurer who likes to round up. I understand.
Holt doesn't say this, but Cap will say it. It's just so I could have 69 gold pieces.
Hey-o! Burp, burp,
Nice.
burp. 2 times sex number combo.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, we're all pretty much fucking broke except for our consortium funds.
I'm not broke. How have you been managing your money?
I just spent a lot. I spent a lot on potions at Geralt's.
Therals. But yes.
Geralt.
Same
Yeah,
difference.
sorry.
The
Geralt.
other one.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
He's always wanted to be a shopkeeper. No one's ever asked before.
I was about to say, Geralt, his brother. I'm a wizard. You're a sorcerer, brother. It's totally different. It's the same. I still cast spells.
Actually, she's a cleric, but we're not gonna mince words.
Oh. What's right? Fucking Warhammer, total Warhammer, Goblin Shamans. This magic is real. Whatever you say, kiddo. Anyway, you continue heading south, and like no joke, like an hour away.
Oh man, that was right there, wasn't it?
Huh.
That's a big hole.
Gaia's Navel. Have you heard that?
The what?
Nope.
They call this place Gaia's.
I hope she's not ticklish.
Well, it looks like there might be a shitload of fucking lint in there.
And like in the hole, you can see people like ants moving around in there.
So, Holt, this is the mithril center of this probably this whole fucking plane of existence.
Huh. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if my chain shirt got made with supplies from here.
Almost certainly.
Well, served me quite well.
But yeah, like the mithril is glittering in the hole. Like you can just see it.
I reach out and grab McCavity by the scruff before he wanders off.
He just smiles and just says, "I couldn't if I tried."
Sure. You're very creative.
I'm creative, but I'm not that strong.
And I'm sure you don't have any way of putting stuff into an interdimensional space where the weight doesn't matter.
No, actually, I find that to be crass. That's why I prefer to steal incredibly valuable small things. Like Jakara over there.
Is that the reason why you've been... We never actually got a lot of clarity into
No, you
why...
didn't. You're not gonna. It's a complicated arrangement.
Don't worry about it.
It only becomes a problem if we survive all this.
That's true.
And that's a pretty big if.
I mean, at least for you, Holt.
Eh,
They're all probably gonna be all right. You're probably dead.
I should have died years ago, to
Hey!
be completely honest.
You did. Well, not years ago, months ago.
Years ago, Salandra.
Fucking, that reminds me of one of my favorite lines from the Good Burger movie. Kenan Thompson is getting introduced to all of the other employees of Good Burger. And one of the characters is Otis, who's played by fucking Abe Vigoda. And
Okay.
they're like, yeah, this is Otis. He's the oldest living worker in fast food. And he just looks to Kenan and says, I should have died years ago. And Kenan Thompson, without missing a beat, like puts his hand on his shoulder and just says, tough break, buddy. Like, fucking... So many parts of that movie are so bad, but so many parts of it are actually really good. Anyway, you guys should probably find Cups here or whoever is in charge.
I wonder what it is.
I kind of jerk a thumb and go, I'm just gonna guess it's something to do with digging a giant hole in the ground. Can I see the bottom?
Yes, actually. It's not so deep that you can't see the bottom, but it's so wide that like this hole is fucking huge. Like, I think this hole is like 2 miles wide.
My God.
And if I had to
I think
hazard
this hole's too big.
And if I had to hazard a guess, like maybe 900 feet deep.
Wow.
At the deepest.
Still.
Like, just judging by the size of the houses. And just the size of the fucking hole. And I should mention...
Who needs a hole this big?
Mithril miners, apparently.
Hey, they supplied the entire planet.
Honestly, I'm surprised the hole's not bigger.
Do I get the impression that...
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Do I get the impression...
You cut out again.
Cut out again.
All right, one more try. Do I get the impression this meteor?
You cut out again. Might I suggest going into your settings and reducing the determined input sensitivity?
Why is it cutting out at the same time each time?
I'm assuming it's the volume and cadence of your voice. So if you go to the little gear and go to voice and video, there'll be a green bar that fills up when you talk.
Yeah.
And you want that to be low.
All right, so turn off auto sense.
Yes, turn that off and then drag the bar all the way to the left.
Okay. How's that?
Much better. And you said something about a meteor?
Yeah, I was asking, does it seem like it was a meteor strike?
If it was, it would have had to have been like tens of thousands of years ago to have struck and then been overcovered and then dug up.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant. Is that essentially since mithril is so rare, I was wondering if it was coming from somewhere else.
It's feasible. Do you have what knowledges do you have?
All of them.
I have Arcana, engineering, history, local, nature, planes, and religion.
Go with engineering.
That is a 31.
Is just as likely that it was a meteorological deposit, astrological deposit, as it is a natural deposit. And you don't know what that says. Like, if this is a fucking natural deposit of mithril, how? Who, what now? But it could very well have been an astrological phenomena.
I lean out way over the edge to look at the bottom.
I should mention.
I hold on to Solandra's cloak.
She can fly.
I hold on to it anyway.
Fair enough. I should mention, like, this whole area is bustling like goddamn Mad Max Bartertown. There is business going on. Like, people are taking, like, boxes and crates and baskets and bags and anything that can be used to carry material. And they are, going up to money changers and they're like, I got this much. And they're like, this much of it is mithril. Here's some coinage. And, like, simply due to the amount of mithril that's in the ground, the miners are not getting paid exactly what you would expect. Like, you'd expect mithril prices for mithril mining, but this is all mithril. Like, the supply is high. Like, these people are getting paid, like, copper mining prices for mining mithril.
What's the condition of the workers?
The worker condition is pretty good. There isn't that, like, these people aren't being, like, horrifically exploited or anything like that. But I mean, there's a bunch of ragtag mutants doing their thing, with headbands. We're hard people working hard. They're dressed a little bit more raggedy than other mutants, but, like, that's just because it's hot. They're doing hard work. Who cares? But, like, I'm trying to think of, like, I was watching a history thing about the Irish potato famine recently, and apparently Irish peasants of the time were noted for being horrifically destitute, very tall, and incredibly handsome.
Nice.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, because they were...
That's my ancestors, baby.
Because they were on a diet of fucking delicious, nutritious potatoes. before everything went to shit. But because of exploitative land laws, they didn't have any money. So, like, a group of very tall, very strong, incredibly handsome and rugged people going into a pawn shop to buy Sunday clothes to go to church and then pawning them back in to buy them back next week. That is the sort of situation you have going on here.
Gotcha.
Except better fed. Like, these people aren't on the verge of poverty, but like based on the base value of what they're doing, they should be making more money. But we're not dealing with base value. We're dealing with economics.
I'll quickly check the consortium price list and see what the value of mithril is on the consortium nowadays.
You could make some mad bank if you shifted some mithril around. And like, you'd be buying in bulk if you bought it up here. But if you did it more than once, the consortium would probably figure out what was going on. If you want to do a get rich quick scheme, you can totally buy like 5,000 gold pieces worth of mithril and transform it into 50,000 gold pieces worth of consortium fund.
Okay, good to know. I don't know if any of us. I don't know if we have 5,000 gold pieces between us, but
I do.
Because, like, you could be like, oh man, we raided a dwarven tomb and found a giant chunk of mithril. And they'll be like, yep, checks out. But if you're like, yeah, there's a mine over here that's just got mithril shitting out of it, they'd be like, we want some mining rights.
Yeah, we don't need to tell them.
We're gonna want a piece of that.
I will mention my kind of nefarious thoughts to my friends. We are kind of running a little short on funds.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, this is just gonna turn regular money into consortium money, so you'll actually have less than you started with.
Fuck, that's true.
You will have less astral diamonds and more fiat currency. For a bank that, if it ever broke, would destroy the multiverse. Oops. Gringotts got wiped out. What do you mean it got wiped out? I mean, there's no more Gringotts. And then the wizarding world fucking collapsed. Eat the rich. Yeah. At this point, the Infinite Consortium is a group that's too big to fail. Anyway. But yeah, there's just a bunch of, ragtag mutants, porcupine quills, underlost eyes.
Just out of curiosity, what level were those guys who came to fix the problem in District 5?
I know the weakest was level 23.
Just curious.
That's a great question and a better answer.
Like, the warlock-looking motherfucker was level 23, and he was the weakest of them.
And the strongest?
I think the strongest was the Techno Witch. I think she was level 31.
And is that... They weren't even, like, senior consortium people. They were just sort of jobbers.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. They're jobbers.
That's horrific.
And hey, Drax, the clone guy, is also a jobber. So, don't worry about it.
Oh boy.
But you are dealing with a very swole wizard. Like, anyone you'll pick up on the phone is definitely under level 30. But has a bunch of fucked up whack job feats. It's like, hey, I can turn fucking your blood into plastic. And you'll be like, what's plastic? And then you'll fucking die immediately because your blood gets turned to plastic. And then they'll harvest your body because they know what plastic is, but they don't know how to make it. They don't know what petroleum is. They just know that they can turn blood into plastic. And they're like, this shit's awesome. I can melt it, but I can't destroy it.
It never fucking goes away.
It never
It's just there
goes.
forever.
It's just there.
I remember, like, I don't know if you guys ever read The Wizard of Earthsea.
Oh, Dave. Dave, you just flipped my fucking trap card, baby.
Oh no, take it back!
You don't like The Wizard of Earthsea?
No, I fucking love the Wizard of Earthsea.
Oh, okay.
No, she'll just never shut up about it.
Do you remember the sorceress that get meant to have the spell that could turn people's bone marrow into lead?
Which book was this?
I think that was the first book, or maybe it was Tombs of Atuan. I'm trying to remember.
I do not remember that spell.
Yeah, it was
But
kind
that's
of.
fucking nasty.
Yeah, that one stuck with me.
Let's say, is that just fucking immediately lethal?
It seemed that way, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, number one, I don't think you'd be able to sustain the weight of that much lead just, like, being transported into your body, and then eventually it's going to poison you, and then you will die.
No, I think you just die in extreme agony very quickly.
Right, because
Relatively quickly,
like
but not quick enough.
Oh, shit, because here's the thing, because, like, your bones are going to become so heavy, and
They'll break.
And, well, no,
Some of them
they're malleable because they're lead. So you're just gonna fucking start, like, melting as your body loses cohesion as it starts to fucking bend under its own weight.
Oh, fuck. You're absolutely
shit.
right.
Yep, you're right. That does just kill you really fast and terribly as you suffer massive organ failure as the weight of your skull starts crushing your brain, among other problems.
Yeah, having like molten metal inside your bones is also just not a good idea.
Yeah, it's not really where you want it to be.
I had assumed that it wasn't molten, and it was just like...
Oh, no, it's literally, it was molten lead.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed the molten part, but you know what? I like my version better. Oh, God. Sorry, no, I can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, there's a lot of people here. Where are you going?
There's got to be a path down there.
You're going down into the hole?
What is it? Where are the people?
I mean, the people, the people are all around, but, like, the organization centers are not inside the hole.
Well,
I don't want to go in the hole.
go in the organization center, so I didn't actually mean let's just jump in the hole. I know I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
No,
Salandra is perfectly good at jumping in the hole.
Like, the image
she probably will do it just for fun.
The image that I used is representative of the organization of the actual area, except there's, like, more tents and camps than around. And, like, inside the hole, there are just people mining and, like, guards keeping an eye on things, making sure that, you know, just keeping the panopticon up just because, like, hey, I could knock you over and take all your shit and say I mined it.
Well, I guess the first thing we should do is make sure they know that we're not here to rob the place.
No, they figured that out pretty much.
Okay, alright, good.
I mean, like, if you did want to rob this place, like, I don't think they could stop you. If only because, like, most of the guards are armed with, like, bows and clubs. Like, they're very clearly, like, a security force. This is not an army, and these aren't even really guards. These are just, like, break it up, stop resisting.
We could always just give control of the mine to the workers and take a tithe. Make it a cooperative venture.
Oh, Salandra, that sounds like work.
It's a lot of work. Murder the proletariat.
I'm all for revolution, but we should figure out what's going on first.
Yeah, I know.
There has to be a reason that Wink sent us out that way.
Or maybe she just doesn't like Outlander. Thought it would be.
Well, they're having a problem with some of their shipments that are going away from us, away from Septemport. Not that much. And it suggests that there's something out there that's intercepting them. Now, could be that it's an advanced camp for you know who. In which case, we might be able to get some intelligence. But let's see if
Wait.
we can talk to someone. And
We're
yeah,
thinking of leaving the mountain?
well, not the whole way, but I mean we're kind of already the Hell Jungle's sort of right on the edge, isn't it?
But say the Hell Jungle is on the edge, and you guys are on the edge of the Hell Jungle. Like, for the most part, traders come to the Terra Nova mine, and they're like, "Holy shit! Please give us this mithril. We don't know what it is." And then the people at Terra Nova are like, if you go deeper in, we have even cooler shit. Sorry, these cards are really good.
Oh, here we go. I ran hot lead in the marrow of their bones. They will die of it.
I know a monster that's terrifying.
Don't like that. Don't like that one little bit.
That being said,
Sarette was her name. I almost forgot about this character. Jeez.
that being said, as you guys are going nearer to the organizational sector, there's like a sprawling marketplace, which has nothing you guys would be interested in. I mean, like, there's a lot of mithril gear, but mostly it's just like mithril sold in like chunks.
Gotcha.
And you actually see some fucking outside traders.
What do they look like?
Fucking.
Do they have 6 heads? Are they weird looking?
I mean, no, they're like regular races, but they're fucking yokels. Like, the people with these wagons have strange beasts. You might call it an ox. Sorry, in a Helgak-based society, like, what the fuck is a horse? What the hell's an ox? I mean, like, yeah, they
we probably have
exist.
cows, but
Yeah, cows provide the milk, but, like, seriously, if you want a beast of burden, you get a Helgak, because it fucking flies.
yeah, but I feel like there's also like there's the Helgak economic class, and then there's got to be a step below that.
That's fair.
Because Helgak are fucking expensive.
Helgak are expensive. Everyone else is rocking, like, mules and donkeys.
Yeah.
Well, if there's mules, there have to be horses.
Nah,
That's a
man.
good point from Cap.
The donkey's bred with the Helgak.
Mule Helgak.
It's worse than you think. Twice the smell,
Okay.
half the power.
Occasionally, they just float like a foot above the air. You
But
think it's cool? It just makes a mess.
fucking Pidge reading my fucking mind. But yeah. And like, when I say yokels, I mean, like, most of the people you see, like, their carts are like downright fucking primitive. Like, it's just like wood, made of wood covered in canvas. Most of the people you see out there, like, they have bronze weapons.
What the fuck?
You see a group of like surly orcs who have been like cowed by these people, and their weapons are made out of fucking bone and rock.
Huh. I thought we had it rough in District 2.
Like, your civilization is, like, consider it like Renaissance, but like also like with steampunk power and some high technology in very rare places left behind by the great old ones. The people that you guys are trading with are like Mesopotamian. Like, you're dealing with like Greece and Rome. You're dealing with like the classical era outside.
And like, holy shit, they've got a ton of cool stuff in their own right.
No wonder the Dragon Emperor was able to just roll over everyone.
Oh yeah, they never stood a
beyond
fucking
power.
chance.
Wow. Interesting. We have to try. I mean, what's the big deal about leaving the mountain? We've already been to fucking outer space. The two of you have apparently been further than that.
Not on purpose.
Does that make it fucking better? We didn't go to outer space was only marginally on purpose, from what I recall.
And you and I have been to Mechanus.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And like, you know, you know, you get the distinct impression that Septemport has like a legendary reputation. Like, traders will risk everything on a pilgrimage to the mountain, because what you bring back with you are things that you can't find anywhere else.
So just out of curiosity, do we make a big impression? I mean, we don't really notice it anymore, but I mean, we are carrying around like millions of gold pieces worth of magical gear, and I do not exaggerate that. I don't think.
I mean, among like the miners, they're like, who the fuck are these hot shots? But like the guards give you a surly nod. Just like I know we couldn't take you in a fight, but please don't start any shit, because we will have to fight you. But like, it's hard to tell that a sword is worth 1.6 million gold pieces just by looking at it.
Just wait till I activate everything on it.
Or like your armor, for instance. Like your whole, what sort of armor do you have? Do you have full plate?
No, it's chainmail.
Hey, like your chainmail looks.
Chainmail.
Your chainmail looks fucking baller. And everyone who's here is like fucking we like there are some scowls of we made that. You shouldn't have that. And then there are some faces that beam with pride that say we are responsible for that. Like, he knows it, we know it, we made that happen. Like, we're basically responsible for this guy. He wouldn't be here without us. So,
Yeah.
like, there's definitely some bitterness, but there's also some pride. And I mean, for the most part, like, they don't get a lot of adventurers out here, but they get a few. And since Connor has started, since Connor has discovered this thing called commerce, he stopped raiding mithril from villages and started just sending caravans to buy it.
It's so much more efficient.
Isn't it? Oh my god! What was he thinking?
He wasn't.
Exactly.
Connor, you fool!
But yeah, there are a lot of trading companies out there on this planet that generations aspire to make a caravan that will be strong enough to get to the mountain, lay themselves up with loot, and then get back. And if they do so, that caravan will pay dividends. It will put your family on the fucking map for the rest of your life.
It just occurred to me that there is another option besides the selling it to the consortium.
Oh yeah?
Huh. I wonder. It's a little bit of a cheat. How much can I teleport?
I think teleport is limited by weight a lot.
Okay.
But you could shove it in your bag of holding.
Yep.
I mean, it's only a bag of holding one, but mithril is incredibly light.
That's true. And, like, seriously, if you're buying a shit ton of bulk mithril, the people you're buying it from will not give a fuck. Because now they're fucking rich. And I know what you're saying. They have a bunch of mithril. That's great. We gotta travel it. We gotta, if we wanted to trade it, we'd have to move it somewhere.
Oh, yeah, so You may also bring one. All right, the weight can't exceed your maximum load. You can bring along one additional willing medium or smaller creature carrying gears or objects up to their maximum load or its equivalent per 3 caster levels. So, in other words, we can just dump a lot of stuff on Holt.
Yes.
Holt, carry all this. Got it.
All right, give me 300 pounds of mithril.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, we do have a bit of a cash flow problem.
Speak for yourself.
But yeah, now you get a taste for the world outside. Like, most of these cultures are still like racially defined, and like it's mostly what you see are like humans, half orcs, and like other smash folk. But there are some dwarves.
Of course.
But like no gnomes, no halflings, no elves. But and like you're currently witnessing some dwarves dispute in a dialect of Dwarvish you don't understand, but you succeed on your sense motive rolls, and this dwarf is like, leave me here. Leave me here, I don't want to go. And they're like, no, Greg, you're the navigator. We need you. You need to come with us. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Look at this. Do you want to go back home when you can live here?
Do there seem to be a lot of outsider expatriates here living here?
Yes.
Cool.
You can tell them immediately because they're not quite mutated, but like they're definitely like there's a half orc you see who's doing some mining, who's like picking up the language very slowly. You know, if you get fully immersed, you will learn the language. It is a matter of time.
That's true.
As soon as you learn the phrase "What's that?" and the "What is this?" you'll eventually start learning all the words. And Orcish is very similar to Undercommon in a lot of ways. The grammatical structure you see. But like some of the expatriates have started to mutate.
Cool.
And you know, once you've been there long enough to mutate, you understand that it's going to happen to you, and you just don't get worried about it because they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, it's very unlikely that you'll have a fatal mutation. That almost never happens to newcomers. Mostly you get the eyes.
Clem would ask some just out of curiosity how long they've lived.
You strike up a conversation with like someone who has begun to mutate, or someone who has mutated but is clearly not from around here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those people.
They say, you know, you come upon this jovial half orc who says, "I've been here for about 4 years, and dear God, I'm so glad I left home."
Isn't this place amazing?
It's pretty fucking fantastic. You know, and he goes on to explain, soon enough, I'm gonna have enough money saved up that I think I might be able to move inland, which is just like wild. I've heard tell of the stories of the jungle, and I can't wait to move there. And he makes a comment like, I gotta stop going to the bee's nest so much. Oh Christ.
It's a tempting place, isn't it?
That it is, little one. That it is.
Yeah, there's plenty inland, but not much with that same variety.
I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I was thinking maybe I'd settle in District 5, but maybe I'll stay in the jungle.
As long as you don't mind the heat, the jungle is, well, it wouldn't be my last choice, that's for sure.
And he goes on to mention, I can handle the heat. It's the cold I can't handle. The steppe gets mighty cold in the winter months. But, now that you mention it, I don't think I've seen a winter here.
I don't know that... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Reynolds, but we don't really have seasons correctly, do we?
Seasons aren't a thing in Septemport.
Seasons are relative, as are directions.
Exactly.
Each district is almost its own season, if I remember. I mean, like
Yeah.
you go from District 2 to District 3, and the weather conditions are completely different.
You
Yeah,
are correct.
like I know in District 3, like there's harvest times and planting times and growing times and probably like fallow times too. But I don't know if we necessarily call those winter.
No. Like there isn't a winter. There is no meaningful change in the climate. Like Clementine, you know what snow is because
Yeah.
sometimes it snows and sometimes and like you've been to the mountains and you've seen the snow there.
So much snow there.
But like spring, autumn, winter, summer, these are words that don't mean anything to you. But you do understand that like weather exists and you understand that climate exists, but you don't understand exactly how climate changes over time in a regular cycle.
I don't want to pull you from your work, but maybe after you finish, we can grab dinner somewhere and you can tell me about winter.
Okay. If you want to talk about winter, come to God damn it. Come to the Hammer of Fire.
Yeah, all right.
It's a good place. We will have boar and cheese curds.
Sounds good. I love cheese. Cool. So now that Clementine's got her evening planned, she is going to learn.
It is time for learning. Who's ready to learn?
I'm ready to learn.
Learning is hard.
Salandra constantly learns.
On High Street, south of the lake, the street outside is crowded with a procession of stray peacocks. The inn is a large stone-walled building with a black tile roof. Welcome to the Hammer of Fire. That being said, last I checked, you were looking for the Terra Nova Administration Building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or more like tent.
Are there any like permanent structures here, or does tent?
There are a few, but most things operate via tent. Mostly because, like, the hole grows ever wider.
That makes sense.
So it doesn't make sense to have a permanent structure unless that structure is pretty far away. Like, the Bee's Nest could probably be a permanent structure. And the Hammer of Fire is a permanent structure. But it's several, 1,000 feet away from the hole. Where a lot of the tents and shacks go up where people live. And I mean, like, cool. I call them like tents and shacks, but like, no, it's like decent living conditions, but like, it's just like 4 walls we raised up. We keep our stuff in here, and there's a bed. I built it myself. They are shacks and tents built, called that not out of like poverty, but out of architectural incapability, or like architectural ineptitude.
Gotcha.
I don't know how to make a house, so I just put these 4 walls up and I threw a roof of leaves over it, and now I sleep in here. I'm learning how to read. But the Terra Nova tent isn't. It's pretty hard to miss. It's adorned with a bunch of flags, that look like a burning sun.
Neat. Do there seem to be a lot of people there, or?
There are a lot of people. There's a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of messengers. But there's a woman out front with 4 arms, 4 breasts, undercommon eyes, a pike, and a repeating rifle.
What do undercommon eyes look like specifically?
It looks like a series of like arcane sigils that dance across where their eyes should be.
Oh, okay, that's right.
The undercommon see things that are alive, dead, and unliving. And she's got she's leaned up against a post with her pike in one hand. One of her hands is drumming against the post, and the other hand, like the other set of arms, has like the repeater at the ready.
I go up to her and what time of day is it?
It is pretty early in the morning.
Cool.
Moving on to before noon, so like somewhere around 11.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
right, because we're so close to the bee's nest.
Yeah.
Right. So Clementine goes on up to her, says, "Good morning.
Morning.
Is this your tent?
That it is.
Wonderful." She kind of bobs her head. My name's Clementine. We heard there's something wrong here.
Clementine Pastora, right?
That's me.
I've heard all sorts of things about you.
Hopefully most of them good, or at least entertaining.
I can't say that unleashing a blood plague on my people is good or entertaining.
Oh. Yeah. That's... To say that I'm here to try and make up for that would suggest that it's possible to make up for that, which it's not. But I would like to do some good here. If I can.
That's a better attitude given your reputation. Now then. Problems? Some problems. Maybe. Don't know how big. If you head in a northwesterly direction, you'll find a place where things have gone a little weird.
What sort of weird?
Migration patterns have changed.
Northwesterly is going back towards Septemport.
Yeah.
Okay, so back into the sort of the midst of the hill jungle, where we're kind of on the outskirts of the hill jungle.
Right.
Okay.
Migration patterns have changed. People talk about seeing weird things in the night. People talk about having strange dreams of horned creatures they're not familiar with.
Now that does seem strange.
People talk about territory that it's been marked. A part of the jungle has been claimed that it doesn't belong to us anymore.
Have any of your people been attacked?
No. Strangely enough, no. Well, now that you mention it, not by anything else, but there have been... tensions have been high.
Oh. Between whom?
Villagers. Villagers and other villagers.
I see.
Is that uncommon?
I mean, there's the occasional honor duel for something stupid like a woman or a man or some heirloom or something like that. But I'm talking about, I'm going to kill your entire house and take it because now it's mine. Because I killed you all, and that means it's mine, so I get to take it. You don't see too much of that.
That doesn't seem like the villagers I remember.
No, it's not. It's a fleeting madness. Not too many incidents of that. But I've heard
Any...
enough miners write home and get letters like that to... It's a pattern.
And does it seem to be... Is there any difference between which miners? The ones that are... What's the, like, word for people that live in Septemport?
Septemportians.
Yeah, the Septemportians or the Outsiders?
Definitely inlanders. Definitely underlost.
Is there any connection between the people who have had the dreams of the horned figures and the ones who are showing the sort of bad and deviant behavior?
Not particularly, no. Not to say that
wondering...
there isn't. It could be that those who fall sway to the horned one's demands don't talk about having the dreams. They just act on them.
Some sort of corruption.
Something like that. It's a theory I've been working on anyway. Fortunately, I've been a little too busy out here holding down the frontier for me to go in and worry about it.
We've also heard something about some of your shipments just disappearing.
Same way, right out that area. Connor ordered a bit for the western part of District 6. And I've got him, well, he's not breathing down my neck, but he expects a refund. He expects a refund or another shipment, and he wants it to go right there. So it's going to take me and my boys far afield to be able to make that happen. We're not exactly losing money on it, but it could be a more profitable venture if we didn't lose 2 of our shipments and fear losing the rest. Can I get a craft... if somebody has like a craft metalworking skill or a weaponsmithing skill?
I've got some weaponsmithing.
Nope.
Not my best skill. I've also got alchemy, but it's the same. So, and that's 28.
28. That pike head is not made out of mithril.
Adamantium?
It is adamantium.
Salandra, who is the pike in someone's hand, or is it?
She's got 4 hands. One of them's just sort of like holding up the pike. One of them is idly drumming on the post she's leaned up against, and the other 2 are holding the repeater.
I look at the pike head and say, there aren't many who can put an edge on adamantium.
It's tricky business, but
beautiful.
It's tricky business, but the Underlost have our ways. If you think the dwarves above know how to work metal, you haven't met the dwarves down here. They get desperate. They get desperate, she says with a smile, revealing a mouth that's missing a couple teeth.
It's beautiful work. I know a little bit of that art, but not that level.
Like the pike is definitely beautiful, but it's also crude. Crudely efficient, you would call it. Its design is good, but there is no flourish.
Yep. Oh, that's like what Salandra likes.
Exactly.
She likes things that are doing the things that are designed to do.
And there is definitely a silent wonder as to whether she can work the pike and the repeater at the same time. And there is also then an additional thought. What are the bullets made out of? Can you make an adamantium bullet? And if you do, what happens when you shoot someone with it?
Nothing good.
It goes through.
There's a hole there now.
I don't want to find out.
It just keeps going.
Armor class? What armor class?
What armor? What's your flat-footed touch AC?
15.
Yeah.
Do you know my not flat-footed touch AC?
Yes, I do. Fuck you.
Wait, is that...
Oh, wait, no, my bad. Your flat-footed AC is huge,
Yeah,
but your touch AC is... What, does it go up to 18?
16.
Hey!
That's the joke. It's just a +1.
Gotta love those deflection bonuses, am I right?
Why do you think I fully upgraded my ring of protection?
It's worth it.
It is.
But yeah, no, that she doesn't break out the adamantium bullets too much. But like she has got like an assemblage of different bags and satchels, some of which are filled with powders, some of which are filled with brass, others of which are filled with more exotic forms of ammunition. The adamantium bullets are probably like I'm not saying she's packing a shit zillion adamantium bullets. She's probably got like 5, but like if you can't put it down with 5 adamantium bullets, like give up. You can't kill that thing.
Yeah, that thing's just not going to die today.
Well, the only problem with adamantium bullets is that they won't fracture, they won't tumble. They're great for penetration, but they're not gonna sort of do the whole hollow point.
Oh no, you got to make a called shot. You got to make a called shot for something that hurts. And if you don't know the anatomy of what you're fighting, well, it does damage.
So don't use it on aberrations.
Right.
No
Organs?
discernible anatomy, no adamantium bullets.
Organs, smorgans.
Organs. Your heart was really cool. Was.
I need
And
to throw more aberrations.
And you realize with Underlost vision, she may be able to like see organs.
Huh.
I mean, you don't know exactly how it works, but you're just like, wait a minute. Down in the rumor mill, can she see my brain? Like, is that a thing that she can see, like, with her eyes? That being said, it does bring up another problem. She can't see her weapons. And
Maybe that's why she's holding them.
Right, that's definitely a reason why she's holding them. But like, you know, in your interactions with the Underlost who were at the camp the night before the battle, like, they can see the impression of the living on inanimate objects, but they can't see. They can tell that an inanimate object is there, but like not.
What about a formerly living object? For instance, like the wooden shaft of a spear.
That would be better and easier to see, but like if they ran their hand across it, it would glow iridescently with the heat of their life. But cold dead things like metal and stone, like there's definitely like it registers as vision, but much less. Similarly, like Underlost, like they can't read the written word.
What about brother?
Oh, she sees him very well. He is both alive and dead. It's strange being an Underlost. One of my players in the original iteration of this game had the Underlost vision, and I was like, you have a lot of problems, but you also have a lot of cool things that only you can do.
Not to mention, it just looks cool.
Right. Like, number one, looks cool. Like, I remember I had a villain play dead, and that player was like, are they really dead? And I'm like, shit, you know they're not. And they were like, double tap, bitch, and just fucking executed them. And I was like, fuck you.
Does it give you an advantage on bluff rolls?
It does give you certain advantages on deception because there are parts of you that can't be read. It doesn't work on other Underlost because there are tells, but if you didn't know what they were, you wouldn't be able to understand them. Also, very talented Underlost can make little faces with their eyes.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
That being said, it's very nauseating, so they can't like hold it for long.
Can they make little heart symbols pop up?
Yes.
Oh.
They needed someone to help them figure out how they do that, though. Just like, wait, all right, tell me when I got it. And they'd be like, you got it. And they're like, great, I think I'm going to throw up. It takes a lot of training. There's not a lot of reward, but everyone eventually learns how to do it.
Well, Clementine, if we amputated your eyes and grew them back here, you never know.
There's a chance you could get under lost vision.
That's true. That would be very interesting.
I don't think that's the kind of science that we should be doing.
Oh, fuck.
I feel as though the learning
Voice of
curve on
reason.
that would be quite steep.
Why am I the voice of reason?
Yeah.
I wouldn't actually do it. It's just a curiosity.
I don't know when you're actually going to do things or not.
I do think about them a lot.
But getting back to the matter at hand.
Well, as soon as I find her name, right.
I think we can look into this. What's going on? It sounds like it's something that's getting worse as you're watching it. It's basically what I'm hearing.
I'd appreciate that. Copseer pipes up and says, and like points to her eyes and just says, the benefits outweigh the shortcomings.
We might also be able to come back and help with the other problem. In terms of like just getting your shipment there safely.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. How much weight are we talking about?
Oh, geez. Holt, how much does your armor weigh?
My armor?
Yep.
12 pounds.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
12 and a half pounds, excuse me.
Christ. So if 12 and a half pounds is like a full suit of chainmail.
It's half weight. So, like,
right.
Full plate would be 25 pounds.
But I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, mithril is light. It's easy to travel around.
Mm-hmm.
He's ordered 800 pounds, 2 shipments, 400 each.
Yeah, we might be able to help with that when we get back. I think time's too pressing now, right, guys?
Well,
Sorry, what'd you say?
That depends entirely on you.
Mm.
So, I don't know what you have prepared.
Well, I can get us there, but then I am not prepared to get us back.
And there's no trees there for me to step through.
Where are you trying to go?
Connor.
Ah! Yes. No, there are definitely no trees you could go to, but you have been to his throne. Then again, that's not where he wants the mithril.
Beggars can't be choosers.
That's fair.
Just drop into his throne. Yo, Connor, what up? Here's your mithril.
We got your
Flop it on his
mithril!
lap.
And he just said,
Zoid back out.
I want... Before he can finish, I want it on the western, you're gone. Bye, Felicia!
Yeah, I can't do the gone thing. Do my teleport spell. Actually, I could. If I was willing to burn my arcane points, I can spend 5 points and get teleport right back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ugh. How many points do you... Like, how many points do you have in your arcane pool?
It's not vast. Let's see.
Like, are we talking like 9 or 10 or like 18 or 20?
I think it's around 15, but I might be overestimating it a little bit.
Still, like, burning a third of your arcane pool to do a sick trick is just... ouch.
Pretty cool.
Ouch, my resources.
13. I have 13 points right now.
That's pretty sick. That's a lot of points.
Plus, well, I've also got a few in I have a ring that gives me a few more, and brother's got a few.
Nice. Intelligent items. But like, obviously, I should comment on the one thing I wanted to comment on the repeater. It's more wild. Like, it's not that pristine. It's got wear and tear and grime.
Oh, guys, brother's stats went up. His intelligence is now 18. His wisdom is 14, and his charisma is 14.
That's fucking wild.
This sword is talking circles around me.
I'm just gonna try to not be offended.
At this point, it's pretty much I have to rely on brother's common sense. So it's yeah, Salandra. No, that's brilliant. It's really stupid to do, but it's brilliant.
This is the most stupid thing that you've. This is the best stupid idea you've ever come up with. Thanks? No, not thanks. Got it. But yeah, the thought of how close is this to Kimba's fortress pops into your head, and the answer is a. I'm gonna have to use our second cowboy scream of the evening. Ah!
Holt, did we close the door behind us?
No. There's a door on this thing? It's a tent.
No.
Oh. Yes.
I mean, there were planar portals in the basement, and you didn't do anything to destabilize them.
Other than remove artifacts from upstairs.
Oh,
And remove the mind
those
flayer from upstairs.
Oh, it's fine. Just don't worry about it.
Well,
That's a problem for Futurists. But
it's too bad we don't have a masterful expert on stealth who can give us advice on the best way to approach this.
That is too
we
bad.
never had one of those.
If we just had someone who could really advise us properly on that, that would be
On
that would
just
be wonderful.
sneaking around places.
Yep.
Quietly.
But we don't
Sneaking.
have any. We don't have anyone like that. What a fucking shame. And to think of all the treasures there.
Your cat is vibrating.
Salandra has mastered the art of playing the cavity at this point.
Like a fiddle.
There's a
Yeah,
reason he
there's a
remains
reason-
so aloof. He's easy to play, like the melodica. I don't actually know if the melodica is easy to play. It might not be.
It's
like playing a recorder.
no, it's not.
Let's say a recorder is really easy to play.
Pitch, I don't think that you'd like playing the melodica. You need to have some. It involves air.
Oh
So-
dear.
I have to admit, I mean, essentially, all it's required to play the cavity is vanity and greed. Like, you know, between
A
those
little
two
bit
things.
of pride too.
Oh yeah. But
Some
the vanity, well, yeah, less too.
If only greed wasn't a sin. That being said, Halt, if the influence that is affecting these people is infernal, you already have a foot in the door.
That's true.
You can pull rank. You can say, this is an inspection, everybody up against the wall. And if someone says, fuck you, I don't have to listen to you, you can do whatever you want.
Does this sound like a Hells or Abyssal type
Yes.
actions?
I'm about to say, that
For
is-
Gemma, it doesn't matter.
Number one, for Gemma, it doesn't matter. Number two, that's unclear. Also, Kopsir has commented that some of the villages have had to migrate.
All right, you bought it.
Before we go, I have a question for her.
Shoot.
How did you know it's not exactly something that I advertise to people what I did at the battle.
That's right. You didn't, but Snickraw did.
Fucking bitch.
Bitch. Is she still around?
Around here? No. But the jungle, yes. And she wanted to tell everyone about the power of her new disciple.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she fucking got out of town really fast after we realized what the fuck had been unleashed.
Of course she did.
I had the feeling that she knew that we were not going to be happy with the deal.
She has a nasty habit of doing that, but, I mean, she has eluded the trips and snares of her enemies for decades.
Well, one of these days we might actually have some time. I'm not fucking happy about being complicit in mass murder.
Copsier shrugs. And then says, well, if you're going to help fix my problem, consider yourself enlisted by the Terra Nova clan. I'd get the paint and do the marks on your faces, but the times they are a-changin', she says with another shrug.
Just out of curiosity, your rifle, how'd you come by it? Don't see it very often this far away from the central districts. I don't think this is actually the first one I have seen. I haven't seen any technology like that outside of Connor. Well, that's probably where you got it.
You are correct. I purchased it. Well, my grandfather stole it in a raid. About, nearly a century back. And then my father used it. And then when he died, he gave it to me. Shoot straight. Hard telling not being able to see and such. But you use it as long as I do and you get a feel for the shot.
Is she a gunslinger by any chance?
She is in fact a gunslinger.
I can tell. She seems to have a bit of grit.
She's got some of that. I hear that you have some of that true grit. But like, not only is she a gunslinger, but she's a gunslinger with multi-attack.
Jesus.
She is a danger to both foes near and far at the same time.
I love her.
She is pretty great, and although she is not nearly as high level as you, she does have a bit of that true grit in her, and just like holy fuck, she can shoot people and stab them at the same time.
Hey, I wouldn't want to fight her.
It would be a bad situation. I mean, you'd probably win just because you're a pile of hit points and meat.
Yeah, but it would be, a battle of attrition.
Yeah, no. You're going to get stabbed and shot a lot.
It's not going to be fun for anyone.
No, because her weapons don't give a shit about your armor.
No, I don't.
And she doesn't wear any armor. For whatever
But we're not thinking about fighting her right now.
No.
We're not thinking about fighting her. Period.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Of course.
What now, ladies and gentlemen?
Do you want to check anything else first? I'll go straight there.
We've got the whole day.
I reach down and I pat my cavity. Wonder what's into him. He seems so tense.
Yeah, it's probably just the heat.
Yeah.
At which point, like, he just begins attacking your boot.
Whose boot? Mine or
Your boot.
Okay.
It's like going absolutely buck wild on some leather, but like can't do anything to it. It's just got little claws.
Aw.
He looks up at you with murder in his eyes.
Oh, you're so cute when you want to kill me. I bop him on the nose.
Well, thank you for your time, and see what we can do to get this problems resolved.
I should mention, she's also like really tall.
How tall?
Like 6'8".
Oh, she's tall.
I mean, you've got to be when you have a second set of arms and a second set of pecs.
Yeah, you kind of gotta do the Martian green giant thing.
Yep. Also, to complete the meme, her pecs, in fact, have pecs. Because that's the only way it would work, having two sets of arms.
Yeah. You essentially need two pairs of shoulders in order to make it really work.
Yep.
Otherwise, you just don't have enough range of motion to be useful.
Yep. The top set, the higher set of arms wield the rifle. The lower set of arms wield the pike.
And so I just whisper, subtle voice to Clementine. He really should have mentioned the spines.
And Clem, you're like, spines? And you're like, oh, spines!
Yep, that would do it.
Clem, get the spray bottle.
In case you're wondering why Slander believes in, like, a head for an eye type.
So you guys gonna hang out around here for the night? Have a chat with where's my random half-orc name generator? Have a chat with Kreisra.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna stay for the night, I could do the portage.
I'll go on an adventure with you.
But say, what are you bringing where?
I could teleport. If I have sufficiently strong people, I could teleport them straight to Connor's palace in District 6.
Sounds good. Don't you know to always split the party?
The only question is, this is. I will mention that while we're going to help the other situation out of the kind of goodness of our hearts, this is one where we would expect to get a piece of the action.
Fair enough.
Listen, you can be the one to negotiate. I'm just your lifting man.
Do you want any of your people to come along?
No, that's fine. If you feel like shipping it, you'll get guards fees, 50 gold apiece.
Oh, it's limbering up a little bit.
How much does a teleport spell cost on the consortium?
Let me look up spell costs. Hirelings, servants, and services. Spellcasting is caster level times spell level times 10 gold pieces. So, what's the spell level of teleport? Oh, never mind. I have it open. So it's a 5th level spell, so that's 50, and the minimum... I always run it off of minimum level unless there is a particular advantage to being higher level, which there isn't in the case of teleport. Excuse me. So... Magi game... No, god damn it. I want the Magi class. There we go. Gain access to 5th level spells at level 13. So it'd be 13 times 50 is the cost of a teleport spell.
So 650. Yeah. 650 gold. Okay. So to teleport your goods there with no risk of loss and getting Connor's goodwill back, I think I'm gonna have to charge you the going rate for a teleport.
And I think that if that's what you're charging, we'd rather carry it there.
Okay.
No hard feelings. Saves us both some effort.
Fucking end of discussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not Solandra's greedy. It's just that she has not made any money for a long time, and being a spellcaster costs money.
You know, you could have spent more time with me in District 4. There's always a job at the Chaos Forge.
There are so many jobs.
Yeah, I'm not interested in any jobs where I'm going to be.
Well, I mean, you gotta read the fine print. You gotta know who you can work with. But there's nothing wrong with...
Standard Merc stuff, I don't know. It's just too fucking morally ambiguous for me most of the time.
I mean, most of the people that I fight are people that are robbing folks anyway.
I mean, look at the bright side, Holt. The political situation in District 4 is so completely convoluted, you can't even tell when you're killing the good guys.
Let's see. Are they trying to stab me? Guess they're not good guys. If you want the money bad enough, a paycheck's a paycheck.
I mean, that being said, if you wanted to ferry your own mithril somewhere, you can totally do that.
Mm.
That being said, shortcutting Copseer would be a great way to piss her off.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that just yet.
I mean, like, if you wanted to bring mithril somewhere else, she's not going to get cranky. But if you're like, hey, Connor, we got you that 800 pounds of mithril. We did it ourselves.
I'd go to District 4.
Yeah, if you want to just, like, drop off, like, as much mithril as you can carry in District 4 and be like, hello, Duke, we will sell you this mithril. And he'll be like, all right.
Thank you.
Copseer. It's gut slang for headache.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Cap, how long has it been since we left the tomb, Marduk's tomb?
Oh Christ! You would ask me that. Am I gonna have to keep a counter? Let's say I need to do some days anyway. A second.
I mean, Clementine said it had been about 2 weeks.
I think it's about 2 weeks.
Oh no, it's been longer than that now.
Oh.
No,
Really?
Yeah, because it was 2 weeks when we were at the
negotiations.
when we first arrived at the negotiations, and that it's been at least a week. It's been more than a week, I think, since then.
been
Oh.
about
Well, pardon me.
a month.
Clem.
Ah!
What's your charisma
Just
score?
under a month. It's like 28 days.
Ah, yay, yay, yay.
Let's see. It has dropped to a 12 currently.
And what was it originally?
14.
It's a 10.
Oh,
What just happened?
Clementine is suffering Elijah's whisper withdrawals.
Oh boy.
And it is making her charisma tank.
I'm just not that interesting anymore.
I looked down at Clementine. Clem, what's the matter? You look drawn. You fucking okay, hon?
Yeah. I don't like this place. Hole's too big.
I guess we don't have to stay in the actual tent city if you don't want to.
No.
Well, 10 isn't a low charisma. You're at about a 7. I need you to bring it up to a 10. You're at like a Baldo Bitterleaf of Surly. I need you to just pump that up a little bit. Once you get down to 6, then the response, hole's too big, is perfect. And like when people ask you how you are at a 6, you're usually like, all right.
So
Clem, aren't you...
Salandra's a miserable healer. She really is, like, has no aptitude for it at all. But she's discovered that if you pump a lot of positive energy into someone, it usually has a positive result. I just go over, I pat her on the cheek. It's like, you sure you're okay, hon? And I'll do the regenerative sinew on her.
It has no effect.
Ah, crap. I was hoping it does repair attribute damage. So
This is not attribute damage.
Okay.
Addiction drain is different from regular ability drain.
We should find the Hammer of Fire.
I finished my retraining.
Boop-a-doo-doo. What did you train into what? I don't even remember.
I know. I trained from Devoted Blade to Bane Blade.
Got it. Fucking got him.
I got a few extra days when I was screwing with the Priestess of Bakab.
Right. Sounds good.
Help in my research.
Sorry, the way you said that was just funny. Anyway, to the Hammer of Fire.
May as well. I know we've still got most of the day, but should probably get the lay of the place.
Holt, when you say
We
that,
can always-
it makes me wonder what you mean.
Oh, come on.
All right, I don't wonder.
It might not be a bad idea to check if they have some sort of healing tent or first aid area. See if we can get some witnesses to talk about what they've seen or heard or felt from that strangeness.
Oh, what's going on out there is super far away.
Oh, okay.
But if there is a central authority in the Hell Jungle, it's at Terra Nova.
Okay.
And Terra Nova is the one, like, wink,
But there
heard it
there have been the fights here.
That's true.
Would we be able to talk to some of those people?
That is definitely possible.
Cool.
Probably the victims, not so much the aggressors. If you act like a rabid dog, you'll get put down like one.
Understandable.
Capital punishment is alive and well in the Hell Jungle, and nobody bats an eye at it.
That's what happens when you've got a your sheriff's repeater and a pike.
That's true.
The pike enters your head repeatedly.
And, like, that's just true around the Hell Jungle. Like, there's a line, and you don't cross it. And everybody knows where it is. And it's usually right around murder.
Don't do that.
You don't do that. If you kill one of us, we will kill you back. But so like, Wink heard about the incidents from pilgrims from Terra Nova more so than pilgrims from other places.
Gotcha.
Strangely enough, it seems as if the pilgrims from the towns that are suffering the hardship are coming to the Hell Temple less and less. Yeah, you're able to good suggestion, Clem. You're able to, you find a healer's tent, and there are a couple here and there, and like mostly they mend broken legs and broken arms and broken hands and broken fingers and shit like that. There's a lot of people moving, a lot of people dropping shit. A lot of that shit gets dropped on people. And so do you try to track down a victim, or are you asking them about what went on?
I'd like to track down a victim to ask them directly.
Okay.
I will see if any of them are located at one of the tents.
I'm just Groot slang. There we are. Thank you, Groot slang. If you're looking like you succeed in your checks and your conversation. If you want to role play it out, I'll role play it out, but there's not much to tell. Yeah. Ooh, I'm an information creator. Sorry. You talk to this person, and he says, "Oh yes, Wostendir. You talk to him. He got messed up pretty bad. It took we had to talk to Master Glips to help put him back together."
Thank you. I'll see if I can, do you know where he's currently at?
He spends most of his nights at, the Staff of Lightning.
Alright.
It's an inn over on the eastern side. Cheap, but decent.
Alright. Thank you.
How
Then we
many
head over to the Staff of Lightning.
how many taverns do there seem to be in this town?
Probably like 8.
And what would you estimate the population to be from what we've seen?
Man, I can never remember city size.
Like 1,200?
Well,
Bigger.
1,200 is a town.
Yeah.
Actually, we're dealing with large town size, so like maybe around 4,000 people.
All right, that's pretty hefty amount of
Yeah.
people for.
Interesting. There are rules for founding a settlement. And then you can spend money on other things. So yeah, this is a large town, which means its base limit is 2,000 gold pieces, and its purchase limit is 10,000 gold pieces. And the best spellcaster here is probably level 5.
Understandable.
So yeah, the cleric that put this motherfucker back together was a level 5 cleric who was like, "This is the most grievous injury I've ever seen."
Oh, so how well put back together is he?
Well, it also depends on how hard he got his ass kicked.
Let's find out.
Oh man, it's very so like there's a basic there's a bribe versus offense meter on the settlement modifiers to determine like how much you would have to pay to just be to ask someone to turn around. And like public lewdness is between 5 copper pieces and 10 copper pieces. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna vary greatly. Because like the lower end is going to disappear and the upper end is gonna go way the fuck up. Like breaking the peace, 1 silver piece to 25 gold pieces. Turn that way down. Like the Hell Jungle is a place where peace gets broken. Larceny, that's gonna be a strange bump. Like you don't take someone's shit in the Hell Jungle, man. There's not a lot of shit to go around. Don't go about taking it. Assault. Now we turn that way back down again. Broken bones can be mended. Cut flesh will knit. Murder. All right, now we go way up again. If you murder someone, you know, if we can find compelling evidence, we will kill you back. And blasphemy, we'll just feed you to the Hell God. Fuck you.
Blasphemy is a crime?
Blasphemy is a crime that you can spend 10,000 gold pieces to make go away.
What kind of blasphemy are we talking here?
Blasphemy, it doesn't say. It doesn't have a description of what blasphemy is associated with.
Not like worshipping the wrong deity.
No, blasphemy would be like opening up a hellmouth or something.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
And so, like,
I would say slanderous blasphemy is pretty much ubiquitous.
Oh yeah. Like if you opened up a hellmouth and you slipped a guard 10,000 gold pieces to shut up and not talk about it, he'd be like, you know what? I'm taking my family. I'm leaving town. No one will ever know I was here. And you'll be like, damn right. And so now, and then there are a bunch of traits that you can add to your city, such as legendary marketplace, economy score +2, crime +2.
Oh, it's District 4.
Oh,
no, I'd say
yeah.
it's mythic marketplace. I think we're for District 4.
That's fair.
Yes, it's the answer.
Welcome to the World Bazaar. We have it. Are you sure? Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. You're just not looking hard enough.
Well, welcome to Polythreme. Here is Screaming.
Hey!
But then, of course, then there's Consortium.
Ooh.
District 4 kind of like looks a little like Paris.
Sorry, gang.
It's simply that I feel like they're the same size, but District 4 is a 2D shape, and the Consortium is a 4D shape.
Fear?
The Consortium is like non-Euclidean geometry.
Oh god. Settlement disadvantages. Anarchy. Atheistic.
There ain't no rules.
The gods have abandoned the settlement. The effect is identical to Magical Dead Zone, but only affects divine magic.
Ooh.
Outsiders
I want that one.
cannot be summoned
No.
anywhere within the borders of the settlement by any means.
No.
Interesting.
This really sounds so much better than normal.
No.
Soul crushing. The settlement has an oppressive, frightening atmosphere. Its architecture is eerie and seems somehow wrong or corrupt. The people are strange and furtive.
Innsmouth.
Yep. And of course, Wild Magic Zone. No.
That'd be fun.
Sample settlements. The capital city, with a corruption of 0, a crime of +2, an economy of 5, a law of 2, a lore of 5, and a society of 2. It includes the qualities academic, holy site, prosperous, strategic location, and tourist attraction. It has an autocratic government, serving 18,000 people, 14,000 humans, 1,000 dwarves, 1,000 halflings, 500 elves, and 1,500 others. The captain of the guard is a lawful neutral female human fighter of level 5. The High Priest is a lawful good male human cleric of level 10. And the Lord Mayor is a neutral male human aristocrat of level 4. Huh. I like this system. Anyway, so you go to the Staff of Lightning. And
Mhm.
it is pretty easy to determine who... damn, what the hell did I say his name was?
Master Glips.
Master Glips was the healer who put the other person together. Wostendir.
Oh,
Pardon me.
I didn't know who we were looking for.
That's fair. It's pretty easy to tell who Wostendir is, because they're the person, who's falling the fuck apart. Not literally, but like, even after they were healed, they look like they've had a bad time. Like, there's still residual bruising, and one of their ears have been removed. And this is a mutant who... Oh! Okay. This is a mutant with lots of mutations. Oh god. This person has no face!
Oh, does he have a head?
Okay.
Yes, they have a head, but like...
He has ears. Or one.
They have one ear, but like... And there's a mouth, but there is no nose and no eyes. And they have a swarm of insects growing in their stomach.
Oh, that,
So they generally make a buzzing noise. They appear to be leaking.
Is the leaking normal, or is the leaking the result of being torn apart?
That's the question.
Yes. Do you want to lead?
Yeah, this guy's cool.
right.
Would you write down his name? Because I'm going to forget it between.
I know I spelled it wrong.
I will help you spell it right.
Thank you.
Holy crap.
Fuck you.
I was actually more right than I thought.
Wostendir.
Yeah.
Wostendir.
Cool.
Sounds
So
like a
I-
sauce.
It does. So I scooch over to him.
He
You're
is
like,
eating like a bowl of soup very carefully. He's not
Doesn't
on
want to
solids
drown.
yet.
Doesn't want to drown the insects.
What time is it? Afternoon?
It is now on afternoon. It's like 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name's Clementine. I was told that you're a Wostendir. Is that correct?
He nods.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. I was wondering if you have a moment. I'd like to buy you a drink and hear your story.
He he points to his mouth and like makes a cross motion with his arms. Evidently he cannot speak.
Gotcha.
And then like he picks up the spoon of the soup and like points to his mouth and like gives like a thumbs up as if to indicate this is just good for eating. I can't actually talk with this.
Gotcha. Are you able to write or make signs?
He nods to write, but he indicates yes to sign.
Okay.
I can probably understand them. I haven't studied any, but I think I can.
About to say, how many ranks do you have in linguistics?
Couple. But I mean, my bonus on linguistics is pretty high.
What's your total bonus in linguistics?
+10.
Oh yeah, you won't even have to roll. You can figure it out. Your knowledge of linguistics is so grand. And you have brother helping you translate. Because as an inanimate object, I'm going to say that he has a sort of fascination for sign language, so he'll definitely pay attention.
Before you tell us the story, let's just get something out of the way. So,
Hey, buddy.
I reach out. I just touch him on his hand.
Mhm.
And I say, and I use regenerative sinew on him.
It fixes his other ear.
Yippee!
And, like, he takes him... Oh, and he stops leaking, too. And, like, he brings his hand to his fresh ear and, like, touches it for a moment, and it's still a little sore. And then, like, he cradles his buzzing stomach and, like, makes a short series of applause and gives a sign for it. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
My pleasure.
Well done, Solandra.
And then he signs. Having to turn my head to listen to people was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'll translate.
So, Clem, what do you want to ask him?
Well, first things first. What you drinking?
And he just signs. Doc says I'm not supposed to drink, but given the circumstances, mead, please.
Cool. I get him some mead.
Are those bees in his stomach?
They are.
Interesting.
He is a living beehive.
Mead makes a lot of sense.
He provides the honey, they ferment it, he gets the mead.
Symbiotic relationship.
Exactly.
Symbiotic!
Fucking got him!
He must be very popular with the ladies at the bee's nest, or the gentlemen at the bee's nest. Or the non-binaries at the bee's nest.
He shoves some mead into his food hole. Someone who is generous would call it a mouth, but I mean, it's got lips, but teeth appear to be in limited supply. He's got like a gizzard, maybe.
Monster.
Monster's upset because I'm not feeding. I could probably.
Oh, you know what?
I'm not doing anything. Holt's just watching.
Now that I think about it, the bees probably do the digesting for him.
That would make sense.
Like that, they don't. It's not true bee honey because it's not made from nectar harvested from flowers, but apparently the insects in his body function similarly to bees and are able to create honey from organic matter that he consumes.
That's super cool.
Is the flesh of his belly transparent so you can see the bees, or is it just open?
No, it's just open. The bees can come and go as they please, but mostly they prefer to stay around.
As the bees please.
The bees clearly aren't like, they're not like actual bees. They're like a certain species of insect that just generated inside of his body. You get the impression that if he died, they would also die.
They're like metaphorical bees.
Right. And if they died, that would probably harm him in some way.
Particularly large intestinal flora or fauna.
In this case, large intestinal fauna.
Yeah.
In any event, what did you want to ask him?
So if we're trying to investigate the attacks that have been happening throughout camp, and anything that you could tell us about what happened to you, do you think it was just that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or do you think you were somehow marked for the attack?
He goes on to sign that the person that attacked him was Quaislang, and he and Wostendir hadn't been friends, but they had known each other. And Wostendir expresses that he mostly mines for fun. He's already pretty wealthy. That's why he gets to live in accommodations like this. And he suggests that Quaislang was always a little jealous of that. He mentions that he's a relative of a chief of the let me see if I can find just like a clan name generator.
So you wouldn't have said Kwaisang was a particularly nice person or a particularly good or caring person to begin with.
He shrugs. Oh wow, fucking just the generator gives me a good one. He makes a noise with his mouth that sounds a bit like laughter. And it mentions that he is part of the Faceless Ones tribe.
Perfect.
And you put 2 and 2 together, and you're like, oh, it must be genetic. And he's like, I'm just a relative of someone who's like, he's like, we're not even an important tribe. I'm just a relative of someone who's in charge, so they know that if I incur any debts, someone will be able to cover for it. And my dad is the boss. I'm sorry, my mom is the boss, so like I get to get away with shit. And like you mentioned that comment, and he's like, no, Quaisling was always sort of like an angry person. And he got into a lot of sort of honor duels, but he never did anything like this. Like, when you get into a duel like that with someone, you throw down the gauntlet, you figure out when and where, you set down some ground rules, and you throw down until you're done. He relates it in the same way that someone would relate like a boxing match or something like that. Or like
I'm just trying to figure out if there was a nudge or a shove.
That's the question. And like Quaislang was used to that. He did it all the time. But what he did to me was, he just like pulled a knife and started jabbing at bits of me. And then the insects started to swarm, and they stung him to pieces. And the guards tried to get him off me, and he was having none of that. So he chopped off one of my ears and really, really put the hurt on me. And he's like, I don't know why. I've never really done anything to him. Like, I took him out drinking a couple times. I wouldn't say we're pals, but I know him. Like he wouldn't do something like that.
Did you notice that he was acting strange leading up to when he attacked you?
He quirks his head and just says, I don't think so. But suggests just because he didn't notice anything didn't mean that it wasn't there. And then like goes on to express like, I would have a hard time figuring out that there was something wrong.
That's fair. What about
where was it this happened?
And he says, deep in the mines, down at the bottom of the pit. He also goes on to explain, it might not seem like it, but I am able to see a little. Apparently he has some way to understand and recognize visual experiences.
Sorry to interrupt, Clement.
Oh, no, that's all. So, was there anything unusual about the day itself? I know there can be some strange weather in the jungle. Anything like that?
He quirks his head and says, no, it was hot, but it's always hot. And then again, It might have been a little bit hotter than usual. Maybe. I don't know.
He can make people crazy.
And he nods.
Did you know any of the... I know a few others have been attacked. Did anyone that you knew or had passed by?
He shakes his head.
All right, thank you.
Like comments is like, there's only been like 9 or 10, but like none of us know each other.
this
So no
might
clear
be.
connection.
And like
This might
he
be a,
goes on to suggest like if there is a connection, I don't know what it is.
this might seem like a strange question, but have you had any unusual dreams, or do you know anyone who's had any unusual dreams?
And he says, he expresses no, but he did know someone who had the dreams, and there was the person was lying down, which is strange for them. They usually don't sleep that way, and there was a grinning creature with black skin, and ox's horns and red eyes sitting on their stomach, staring at them.
That physical description, does that, if I do my knowledge planes, does that sound like anything?
It sounds definitely infernal or abyssal, but there are plenty of generic demons and devils that look like that.
Does that sound like that little bastard that bit my finger?
Something like that, but definitely not as strong.
Okay.
Like, it definitely wasn't Krampus.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Krampus wasn't little.
That's like
Yeah,
Krampus is
I couldn't remember.
not little. Krampus is a
He
very
was-
big boy.
Yeah, he was huge.
Isn't it like 7 feet tall or something?
No, he's bigger than that.
Bigger than that?
He was large
thought-
sized.
I can't remember.
I thought he was small compared to Asmodeus.
It was compared to Asmodeus.
Right.
Okay,
That's just because Asmodeus can be like as tall as he wants to be.
fair.
Like Dunkelzahn, he chose a form that was shorter than Lincoln because it was the respectful thing to do. But like Krampus is the sort of person that has to like lean down when he's getting indoors to kidnap children.
Fair. And he has to bend double to bite off halfling fingers.
Yep. And he probably can't stand up straight in most houses.
Serves him right.
Fuck you, Krampus.
Fuck you, Krampus. I made my ceiling especially short just for you.
You motherfucker. Anyway.
I think that's all I have for questions, actually.
And Wostendir like expresses gratitude that someone is doing something about this. Like it seems like there's something wrong, and he goes on to express like, but what do you do? Like,
Have any of the people who've turned violent survived? I mean, is Quaislang still somewhere being held, or was he executed?
he shakes his head. Like usually they fight to the death, or they get put down.
That sounds more abyssal.
I like the way you thinking, Solandra. Devils are generally like, yeah, you succeed on your knowledge planes check. Devils are generally more insidious.
Yeah.
Devils wouldn't start from the bottom; they'd start at the top.
Also, they wouldn't fight to the death unless, except under special circumstances. I mean, it's just there's no profit to be gained in it.
Exactly. A devil only fights to the death if you're fighting to their death. If they surrender and you're like, there's no surrender, they're like, great, then I'm not gonna either. Fuck you. I'm not gonna surrender to prove a point. That being said, demons are like, no. There is no fucking surrender. If a demon ever surrenders, it's a trick. Don't fall for it. Just kill him.
Clem, do you have any? I mean, it seems sort of in your wheelhouse. Do you have any way of detecting unnatural things? I mean, like evil stuff. I mean, essentially, this is not really. I'm really good at blowing things up and protecting myself, and that's how my magic usually works. So
We could try the goggles.
it's true. Not sure if that will reveal that type of taint, but maybe the analysis effect could work.
Couldn't hurt, right?
Do you know where the body was sent?
Ooh, there we go.
Also,
He-
have any of the other attacks been at the bottom of the mine, or just this one?
He expresses that some of them have taken place in other people's homes, which is just like fucking sacrilege. You do not bring this into someone else's house. Right. He expresses that some of the attacks have taken place in other people's houses. Most of them just take place like or some of them have taken place like at the changing tents. Like you'll exchange the mithril you've acquired for money, and someone would be like, "Nah, man, that money's mine, bitch," and they'd fight to the death over it. And you're just like, "That's just like, you don't do that." Like, the fuck. If you really can't afford a meal, you just ask for one. It's fine. Like, we help each other out. We've all been on hard times. And he shrugs and says, "Well, not me, but you get the idea." I'd share my silver if someone needed a meal and a bed.
Exactly. And just for the fun of it, I'm gonna just peek at him through the goggles.
You peek at him through the goggles. There is no functional difference.
Okay, cool. I didn't think so.
It never hurts to check. Right, you asked about the body, and he says, "As is custom, we burned it."
That's probably a smart thing to do.
Master Glib oversaw the cremation.
Did anyone check to see if there was any sort of possession? I don't know if that's something that. I mean, I'm thinking. I'm sure Solander knows enough about planar stuff to know about shadow demons.
Oh yeah. And he shrugs and he's like, "I don't know nothing about no fucking possession." What?
All right, why don't we go check out the bottom of the mine where the attack took place, and maybe a couple of the other places, and see if we can find anything.
All right.
It might all be random. As we go, I'll tell them about shadow demons. I haven't run into them, but I've studied them, and I'm sure.
Didn't we use one here in the Hell Jungle before?
Oh,
The thing that spied on.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember that general's name now.
Erlon?
Erlon. Poor Erlon.
Oh, there was a shadow demon. I don't even remember. I don't remember that bit, but Solander probably would. So.
No, yeah. Like, Solandra.
I summoned it.
Right, like Holt provided the demon energy, and Solandra provided the lore, and I think Rivo gave the idea, and then you guys gave it some gold, and he's like, "Tender's tender, man. I'll do whatever you want." And he kept an eye on them for like 4 days or something.
Yeah.
Before eventually Erlon caught sight of him, and he was like, "Oh shit, that's bad." And he came back and was like, "Yeah, that thing could see me, so that's bad." But it took him a really long time to figure it out.
Well, they can enter bodies and take them over, and they'd be quite capable of behaving like this. I mean, I'm not saying that that's it. There's other explanations. I mean, it could just be sort of like a general corruption, like something that's affecting the area and is causing people to like slide. But it could be fucking possession.
And if it's not possession now, it could be possession later.
So yeah, just based on the facts that we've heard, does shadow demons make sense, or is that a reach?
The problem with a shadow demon is that they lose their power in sunlight.
Even when they're inside of someone.
If they're inside someone, noontime would be the time where they would be weakest. Like, they don't become powerless when they're possessing someone. They don't become powerless, but the person who they're possessing gets a greater control over themselves. So if this guy were to succumb in like this guy succumbing in the middle of the day, that doesn't make any sense. Now somebody trying to murder someone in the middle of the night, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, let's check it out then. I walk over to the rim of the pit, and I just fall to the bottom.
Oh, hell.
And like the mining goes on day and night, less so at night, but there are some nocturnal denizens who like the peace and quiet.
Salandra has feather fall on all the time. She doesn't need to do anything.
Oh yeah.
I transform into a bird.
Hull, do you walk down to the mining pit like a fucking human?
No, I have a ring of feathers.
Nice.
I float down like a fucking pleb.
Got it. You take a giant running start and like can barely keep yourself floating in the right direction to properly correct. The cavity jumps on your shoulders.
You see Salandra floating down as well, and she's just sort of riding. You know, she has her duster out, and she's riding the drafts.
Holt, you're much less graceful.
Occasionally taking a little acrobatic tuck and roll.
Clem is attempting to offer you advice, but she's in the form of a canary, and it's hard to understand her when it's in bird form.
Am I almost done? The meat is running out, lads.
No.
I cast a spell magic on Hulk.
It's weird standing on such mithril-rich earth. Like, for the most part, like, it's an entire vein of mithril. Like, it's just open and exposed. You just come down here with a pickaxe, mine some out, put it in a bag, go back up and say, how much for this? And, like, there is no centralized authority, like, making these people work. You get paid for how much you bring up. If you bring up enough to pay for your room and board for the evening and you're done, you're done. If you want to keep going, you keep going. I mean, like, the wages are pretty salt wages, but, like, who cares? Living in the cost of living is low, and the wages aren't very high. But when you're hanging out around down here, everybody give me a wisdom roll. Actually, Holt, you get a +5 on it.
My what?
You get a +5 on this wisdom.
I do?
You do.
Wow.
An unnatural 20.
16.
6.
Ooh. Ouch. Hey, Halt.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you went to hell?
Which time?
You catch a whiff of sulfur. And you realize that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like,
Sulfur in a mithril mine?
sulfur in a mithril mine. That's a no-go, Hoss. Like, that doesn't happen. Those two things go together like fucking peanut butter and soup. It just this is not compute.
I was gonna say peanut butter and horse shit. Actually, was my thought.
Ooh. Doesn't go together, man. And Clementine, you notice the same thing, and you also recognize that that's not natural sulfur. You've smelled natural sulfur. You've been to a sulfur fall, and like it smelled like shit.
Bless you. Does Solandra have the goggles, or do I?
I think that you do.
You
Okay,
do.
cool.
You last looked at Wilson.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Also, Solandra usually lets you have them because she doesn't like looking through them because it's weird.
No, actually, Solandra likes looking through them, but she wants to.
Wants to share.
Pidge, do you
All
engage
right.
the goggles of true seeing?
I do. I take a peek.
I'm sorry, I sent that to the wrong person, but it doesn't matter.
Oh boy.
Is the sky supposed to have eyes?
Mm-mm.
And I don't think it's supposed to move like that.
Mm-mm.
No, the sky doesn't move. Clouds move. The sky doesn't move. And
Those are no clouds.
when you look above you, it's a cloud, but it has terrible eyes and teeth and claws and horns.
We're at the bottom of the pit, right?
Yes.
Okay, so.
And the problem is not below. It's coming from above.
I tear my eyes away to look down anyway, just in case.
That's a big old rock.
Whew. Okay, I look
Clem.
back up.
That's a really big rock.
Holy shit, that's a big rock.
Clem, you are looking pretty fucking pale.
Okay, this problem may be a lot.
You're almost as white as me. That's saying something.
Did you just call me ashy? Here, look.
Oh.
I'm alabaster, thank you very much. Except when I'm dirty or tattooed, which is most of me.
I hand Solandra the goggles.
All right. I have the
Look
feeling
up.
This is gonna be fun. Take a look.
In a book.
Knowledge planes help.
Knowledge planes. Roll the beautiful knowledge planes.
Can I assist?
Go for it.
All right. That is a 36.
And I assist with a 15.
Nice work. That's +2. You provide an interesting tidbit. Actually, you help craft this weather metaphor. So water evaporates, turns into water vapor, which condenses into clouds, which then rain the water that was put into them across the earth. This cloud is made out of abyssal energy, which is being released from somewhere, coalesced, and then occasionally precipitating down.
I'm gonna fly up, and I'm gonna look. Once I get over the edge of the pit in the immediate vicinity, I'm gonna look in the direction where I know the Gemma's fortress is. Do I see any increased sort of density of this, in terms of if the idea is this is a cloud that's formed by something?
Where is its source?
Right.
Is there like a smokestack essentially
A
coming
trail?
from?
There isn't a smokestack, but the trail idea, you realize the cloud is coming roughly from that direction.
Well, I guess we fucking know our next stop.
What'd you see, Clem?
Do you want to see it?
Hold.
I
Nods.
drop back down. Here you go.
Give me a
Here.
peek.
Let me put them on your horns. Are kind of in the way.
Oh.
Now connected to David Luongo's iPhone.
What's up with that?
It kind
Thanks,
of
Alexa.
reminds me. Sorry, tangent. There was a character we met in a game who was a robot, and our job was to get him some voice software. And we were able to find a disc that had voice software on it in an ancient ruin. And when we put it in him, the GM was like, "Shit, I can't find any good text-to-voice software." And none of it's free, and he found one that was free, but every time the software worked, it would begin every statement with "This is a demo," and then it would say the words, and we were like, "Oh shit, that doesn't work." And he's like, "No, it's perfect. You got him a bootleg voice. It doesn't work." And so like he could talk to us now, but every sentence started with "This is a demo," and then whatever he wanted to say. Mistakes into miracles, baby. Anyway, yeah, those are fucking demonic clouds, boy. That's bad. You got demons in your air. You gotta get rid of that.
I wonder how far they expand. Am I able, if I put on the goggles and...
So is it raining? I mean, essentially, are people being affected by like little bits of this that are falling on them?
This cloud isn't raining now, but others will, and this one will eventually.
Do I think that a greater dispel magic could disrupt this part of the cloud at least?
This is true. You could do that if you wanted to.
I might be revealing myself too soon. Oh, can I check something out with those?
Please do. He's just gonna startle to take them off around his... Hand them to you. He kind of stares into the middle distance.
I'm trying to figure out if there's an interactive element here. If this is just like a byproduct or a residue, or if it is something that is still connected to its source.
This is the byproduct. You can tell that much. These things aren't being made on purpose. They're just a happy after effect of whatever is actually going on.
All right. So in other words, if I disrupt this cloud, prevent it from raining for a while, it won't necessarily be noticed.
No, it won't have any outside effect.
All right. Then I will use I'll fly up to get in range, and I will use a greater dispel magic so that it, at the very least, the settlement's safe from it.
There's a bunch of booing and hissing and jeers and screeches and insults and abyssal, and then the cloud disappears.
And then I'll drop back down to the others.
And like for the most part, there were a couple of witnesses who saw the tattooed maiden fly up in the twilight and do a thing in the sky, and they don't know what the fuck just happened. But whatever, it's magic. No one got hurt, so I guess there's nothing to worry about.
I'll hand the goggles to Clementine. Well, that spell works pretty well.
How the hell are we supposed to protect ourselves?
We have to go to the source. We have to go to where that fucking cloud is coming from and cut it off. I mean, I can knock the clouds out of the sky from time to time, but that's not going to solve the problem.
Exactly. We'll just prolong it. Should we tell the captain what we found?
Yeah, I think it's a, we can at least, if there are ways for them to put down the people who are doing this and that aren't lethal, that would be good. I don't think it's really their fault, but it must push things that are already there. People who have like some bitterness or a grievance or rage, and I think it just shoves them over the edge.
Yeah.
So that's necessarily not. I know a lot of assholes, and most of them don't deserve to die.
But, like, if it's just you turned up to 11, then aren't you responsible for it? Man.
And so we need to do something about this sooner rather than later. I guess this was the right call.
But I'm fading fast. You've solved the mystery. I just want to let you all know that I made all of this up. All I knew is what the source of the problem was, and that I wanted a 4-armed lady with a spear and a repeater rifle.
Well, you crafted a nice little mystery for us.
Yeah, you did. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I am forward to what comes next.
Woo!
What would you have done if we had just gone straight to the Gemma's Fortress? Which,
If you had gone straight to Gemma's Fortress, you'd have figured out who is there, and you would have no idea exactly what they're doing, but you would know that they were there, and you'd probably be like, "This is not okay.
Go home.
Go home." And they'd be like, "Make me."
I'm glad you said that.
Hold, don't go off half-cocked. You won't be dealing with some scrub. Remember, I gave you guys a fucking caution warning.
No, I have a plan.
You will be dealing with an A-class motherfucker.
I've been taking notes for this, and now I can amend.
He's been taking his notes and his vitamins.